Hello and welcome to the Pickle Podcast. My name is Matt, and I'm here with Ethan.
Hello.
And Ricardo.
Hello. What's the growth?
We're all soldiers now. Is that what this-
I'll take care.
Didn't take long for Overwatch, did it? Didn't take long. Like less than 10 seconds.
Time to Overwatch. 10, calling
It's
it.
over.
I
We
was
tried.
doing a Geralt of Rivia.
Sure.
Ah.
Because we're going to get right into the video games. You guys are too soon. We're supposed to
Too
talk,
soon.
We're supposed to talk aimlessly about nothing for the first 5
No,
minutes,
what
then
about-
review a beer, and then
You're right.
eventually we get to a video
Fine,
game.
we'll talk about beer.
We got a lean, mean podcast now ish.
No, you last week were just hungry, and so you're.
Now I'm not.
Yeah, I fed you
So we
beforehand
can
this
hang
time
out
specifically
forever.
to make sure that you would enjoy your podcasting experience. Hey guys, you brought a beer today, Ethan.
I did. We talked about how last week how we couldn't find a beer that we were like not very good.
Every time we review a beer, it's 4 stars. I think we've had 1.5 or 1.3. I can't remember.
There's been like a couple,
A few
couple of us
threes.
have rated.
Most are
some
fours.
But the point is that we've had like a 1 or 2 point scale so far.
We're very much the IGN of beers.
with the
We're
IGN
just
of
like
beers,
it's
what we
all
said.
alright, I guess.
Well, and also we kind of when we're going to go out and pay $12 for nice beers, we're probably gonna want to try to get beers that we enjoy.
It's true.
So,
Luckily, this is cheap beer that I found at Trader Joe's, your local
which
grocery store.
Trader Joe's still
Pretty alright.
good, even if it is cheap.
Pretty alright stuff. This is called Name Tag Classic, and it was right next to another beer called Simpler Times, which I had, and I thought was very gross. But I already tried that, so I was like, well, I bet the other crappy beer that's next to it is probably bad too. But you know what?
It's actually not that bad.
It's
It's
alright.
not bad.
I mean, like
It's-
it's in a can that's reminiscent of like Budweiser, like the colors, like
Yeah.
they're
And
clearly going
it's-
for that kind of white on red, on gold.
It's
just your standard American lager.
it
Yeah.
tastes like water to me.
Yeah, I mean
It
after all the
definitely
flavorful
tastes
stuff.
a little bit like
But this is, like, way
red,
better.
like Red Stripe.
Yeah, like
like,
that. It's like that level
yeah.
of lager, like
Mhm.
where it's not
Mhm.
exactly like high quality, but it's not like
It's not
piss.
piss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It doesn't taste like bitter in a weird way.
and
Very-
still watered down somehow, like in
Yeah.
a weird way. Yeah, it does taste pretty.
Very drinkable.
It's very
This is your stand out in the alleyway and watch Bobby be a dumbass beer out there. By God.
Do you know what this is referencing?
Family Guy.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I do like pirates.
I said Stewie.
It's got Duff
I
beer,
was
right?
about to- yes.
With Duff beer?
exactly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You got it.
Family Guy's got Duff beer.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
They own a burger joint.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
that's true.
And they're spies, and his mom is also a spy, and there's like his ex-lover is there.
God, this show's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the name is though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
the one with the horse is the main character.
Oh yeah.
It's called American
Adult cartoon
Dad.
show.
Cartoon show.
A cartoon show, but for adults. Wow.
We
What
make
a concept.
we talk about sex.
It's crazy. They're like animated characters, like on a kids show, because only kids watch cartoons. But they're talking about like adult stuff, like sex and stuff, and they
Indeed.
swear. It's crazy.
They
And there's violence,
What?
like graphic violence.
That's not for kids.
Yeah, that's not. This is
What
not. This doesn't
audience?
make any sense at all.
What audience could they possibly have for that?
Yeah.
the
But anyways, what do
adult
you-
audience.
We're
What
not,
do you
talking
guys-
about, we're not talking about dumb, far-fetched fantasy ideas.
What
We're
do you-
talking about.
what do you think about the beer? What would you rate it?
This
What
is
would
a
you rate it?
2-star beer for me, because it is not like it's not a beer that I would ever go like pay money for.
But it was $3.
But it was $3, and it's like when I'm 1 star is like piss water, like
Actually
Bud Light or
bad.
something like that, like actually like bad.
Offensive.
This is just like
Not good.
water. It's just like
Flavorless.
it's
What about
fine.
you?
It's like Ricardo said, it's very drinkable. It's nice that it's a hot day out right now, and I can just drink this kind
Yeah.
of fast.
Perfect.
What about you, Ethan?
Yeah, I'll go 2.
Go two? Yeah, I'll stick with
I'll say
two.
this is like the highest 2 that you can get for like a crappy lager. Like
Yeah.
for like if someone was like, I want a $3 beer, I would say then go to Trader
There's
Joe's and
worse
get
you can
this,
get.
because this is like the best you can get.
Yeah, I'd go with 2 as well. I mean, the price almost kind of like
Yeah.
knocks it up.
We,
but-
think it
we
was like
were reviewing on
$3.50.
price earlier for any of those.
The
other
guy at
ones.
Trader
Sure.
Joe's was like, "Whoa, I never tried that. $3.50 though. Can't be as bad as Pabst Blue Ribbon though." It's like,
and
I guess.
it definitely
It's not.
is
It's
not.
not as bad as
It's
Pabst Blue
definitely
Ribbon. This
not.
is like it's interesting because I was expecting something along those lines, and then we opened it up and I had a sip and I was like, actually, this is like
It's very light beer,
it's,
but it's
yeah, I
alright.
guess it's not like complete garbage.
Name tag, not bad. Just like most things
You have
at
a Trader
Trader
Joe's
Joe's.
nearby you? Check it out.
You're
if you
having
want
a
cheap beer.
yeah, you're having people over, and you don't like them that much, really. So you just need.
Or you're
something
having a
to
lot of
drink.
people over that you
Yeah.
can't.
But you don't want them to
just
be
give 'em
like
all nice beers.
just get a bunch of crappy Bud Lights. Be like, what is this? You
Just
know,
get
it's
'em
like
like-
it's for
get 'em
people.
the
Seem
off,
like-
get 'em the off brand.
Seem like you're a little. It kind of seemed like you're a little bit hipster.
it's
a
gonna
little
it's
bit
gonna
cool.
it's gonna be revealed after this that that Trader Joe's just orders this from like the Budweiser
Yeah,
place.
it's
and their
probably
label.
just like it's like Coors in here, probably.
Yeah. And we're just be like,
And it's from-
this
it's
is so
from-
much better than we expected. It's gonna turn out to
Name
be
tag
actually-
Brewing Company, Monroe, Wisconsin. So
Huh.
probably not. I guess
Look at
it's-
that! Look at that!
Hmm.
I still don't believe it.
I don't know. It all right.
It all right.
But
It's
what I
like a-
want to know is what do you think about The Witcher, Ricardo?
The Witcher 1 specifically.
Yes,
Let's go
The
around-
Witcher
let's-
one.
let's-
So
The
good. The
Witcher.
combat's
That's
so
about-
stiff,
that's
It's a
about The
little.
Witcher.
It's a
Did
little
you change your,
obtuse
did you
to
change your
play.
stance before you fight? And
How long did you have to prepare before you actually had a first battle in The Witcher 1? Oh, I don't know. 2 hours?
See, you have to get well rested. Do a little bit of stretching beforehand.
Do
make
some
sure Your
meditation.
limbs are all, in the right position. Make sure the right sword is out, of course.
Of course. No, I've been playing The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, the critically acclaimed CD Projekt Red game. Came out in 2015, I want to say. It's a year
I
old.
think it's
that
last
game.
year.
So, I just
Some DLC that just came out recently, which is
yeah,
getting a lot of good reviews.
yeah, I think late last year there was the Hearts of Stone DLC, and now Blood and Wine, I think,
Yeah,
is
like
out.
just came out like a month
It-
ago.
Both display prominently on the startup screen when.
It's like, by the way,
Yeah,
you
it's
can
like,
buy
well, these are out now. You can play
It's like,
these.
I don't even know if
too."
I'll ever get through this main game,
Yeah,
how
I
big
know,
it is.
Exactly, that's the thing. The Witcher is fantastic. I kind of got this game basically because I've been playing like a lot of competitive kind of games, like
Like what?
like a
Hearthstone.
certain like Hearthstone, a little bit of Street Fighter
Any other
5,
Blizzard- any other
and
Blizzard
maybe
games?
some competitive competitive team shooter, maybe. I don't
Here's
know.
a
Just
sword.
two.
Yes. Monday Night Combat. But anyway, so I just needed something, and the birds are attacking outside.
Mhm.
I just
It's
needed,
it's like Birdemic in here.
indeed, get the coat hangers out. But I just needed something that was gonna be a little bit more like single player story focused, like something I could like
Oh, like Overwatch.
enjoy from a different standpoint other than just getting really good at this game. So I played so I decided to pick up The Witcher, and that game is fantastic. What
a surprise.
yeah, it's not a surprise to anybody, but like the world in that game is really interesting. I think all the characters are really, really super interesting. I'm only about like maybe 3-4 hours in, so I've just kind of completed
Choose the Griffin.
yes, I did the Griffin thing. I just got into Vizima, I think is the place called. So like, and they shaved my beard, and I'm gonna have to go have an audience with the king. I was pretty upset that they shaved my beard.
Don't worry, I'll go back.
Honestly,
It goes
Yeah,
back.
you've got that game too, right, Ethan?
That's
How far
about where
did
I'm
you
at.
get? Okay, so you did not get very far.
It's just I don't have the time
Those
to commit to
games
that
sort
kind of
just
game.
feel
It's so
daunting to me.
dense.
It's actually the reason I can never get into Skyrim. Besides the fact that it's well documented how Ricardo doesn't like Skyrim,
yeah.
and I feel like I don't have the dislike of it necessarily, but the same reasons he dislike it are the same reasons that I could never. I walk out into this big open world, and I'm just like, I don't know where to
There's
go.
a little bit more direction in The Witcher,
There
though.
is a little bit more,
but there
but-
is. It's totally that element of like
You
you
could
take
go
you
any- you
take
could
not
go
to
anywhere.
mention you take a step and then like 5 like little icons of stuff that you can just pick up like pop
Yeah.
up next to you. And it's like weird because in The Witcher specifically, like in Skyrim, you can kind of get away with like, I don't really care about alchemy. I'm not gonna bother like gathering all this stuff up and like doing all this stuff or whatever. Or like I don't care about this element of the game. In The Witcher, although you can kind of lean your character, I think, focus towards like different elements of the game, you kind of have to know a little bit about every one of the.
Not Gwent. You don't know how to play Gwent.
You don't
Doesn't
have to
matter,
know.
man.
You don't have to know how to play.
Gwent's got its own game now. It
Yeah.
doesn't need the Witcher
I
anymore.
totally know how to play Gwent though, and I think Gwent is fun. But
It's all right.
But
Solid. Pretty good for a game in a game.
but like yeah, And I think that's the most daunting element of it to me, not necessarily the world, because like I've played Assassin's Creed games where like the world opens up and there's literally like just every 10 feet like an icon, like all this stuff
Great game
that pops up. But the most daunting thing in The Witcher is just all the system, like the gameplay systems that you have to learn about, like learning about alchemy and crafting and preparing before each battle.
It kind of caught me up in Witcher 2 is what got me.
Yeah.
I feel like I should just go to like set that game to easy mode and just like,
I
enjoy
thought
it.
about it for a second,
I
but
think I'd probably do that if I got the game.
I thought about it for a second, but I'm like, no, you know what? I want to actually enjoy these systems
It
too.
sounds like easy mode makes it almost a little bit too easy because I think easy mode is like you get like all your health back whenever you finish a fight or like whenever you like rest.
Yeah,
and for
that's
any
true.
time length of time you get all your health back and you don't have to do any kind of preparing or any kind of like. And the medium mode is like the whatever.
It's not super hard.
It's not super hard, but
you
it's
have
just,
to at
it's
least
just
be on your
it's
toes.
like almost the level of The Witcher 2, and just like I'm just kind of like Witcher 2. I started to play and I really was liking what I was playing, and then I got to parts where it's like I have to prepare for a thing and I don't really know what I'm doing or why I'm preparing or like and so I
I mean it.
The time commitment also.
Yeah, to a certain extent, like the preparing for stuff can be a little bit daunting, but I feel like Witcher 3 eases you into it a little bit more. Like for example, there's a side quest.
I've heard that.
There's a side quest early on where you are investigating like a ghost that's haunting.
The
like,
thing glitched out for me. It was so frustrating.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's interesting because like you're investigating this whole ghost thing and you find out that like it's the spirit of a woman who was killed like on her wedding day, and that actually does formulate like a vengeful spirit called a noon wraith that like shows up during the day, like when the sun is at the highest or whatever, and like it does this whole quest that to kind of teach you how to study up for like monsters that you're fighting and like what things to prepare like when you're going in to fight a monster. So like in this quest, like I learned that okay, the wraith is like if I put wraith oil on my silver sword, like I'll be more effective, and it's also like really vulnerable to this one sign I throw down, like it'll get trapped within it. So like if I didn't pay attention to any of that, it would have been really tough because actually I started fighting the wraith.
I saw that part.
I started fighting the wraith and like I wasn't doing that much damage, and I was like, what the heck's going on? And then I remember I'm like, oh, if I use this sign, and I threw it down, and then the wraith kind of got like caught in the sign and like got opened up to damage. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like that's cool. If I would have just gone in there blindly.
But how do you find that stuff out again? By reading the item descriptions?
Yeah, there's like, and when you find out, learn about monsters, like they open up in your bestiary and they tell you like what things you might want to bring in to fight against them.
So it doesn't require that much research.
It's not
super
super
really.
amount, but like for example, like I couldn't get the wraith oil because I didn't have the proper like the proper alchemy stuff. So instead I just like drank a bunch of potions. But then you gotta watch that because you have a toxicity level and you poison yourself.
Aim's crazy.
It's a lot of like crazy stuff like that, but
it's less crazy than The Witcher 1. It's not. They've made it a lot more accessible, and it sounds like The Witcher 3 is probably the most accessible.
It definitely feels that way, and I just feel like where in other games it kind of annoys, like not necessarily annoys me, but it kind of takes you out of the game where it's like, why is he helping this person? Like, he has much more important things to be doing. Or, like, why is he doing this? He's got way more important things to be doing. Now it's like, in The Witcher, that's your job. Like, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Your job is to go do things and help people.
Yes, exactly.
If they pay you.
Yes, if they pay you.
They have to pay you.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It's the rules.
It's pretty funny because, like, every thing, like, before you accept a quest, it's always, like, one of the options is, like, you kind of being nice and just being like, I'll do it. And the other one is, like, literally, like, all right, let's play. Let's talk about price. And then you can haggle, like, with people, but, like, you can shut yourself out of certain quests if you push too hard, like if you put your price too high or whatever, like
1 million.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think
I hear the DLC is really good. Like really, really
but that's
good.
the thing is like there is so much.
The main game is already dense enough. It's like
yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'll ever get to that DLC ever.
Well, we got a Steam sale going on right now. Not to completely
apparently
change the subject.
It's very cheap on Steam. The main game,
is
but
Doom.
you already have the main game.
I know Doom is on sale right now for $35, The Witcher 3 and all of its expansion packs are on sale, so the whole game and both the expansions like $50 now, where it's normally like $100.
It's like the whole
The
game.
Witcher 2 is always like like now it's like $3.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of really cool games.
Which
Like,
is still a very good game.
Life is Strange is
Mhm.
on sale. The Borderlands is on sale. Both those are like $8 or something like that. Like a really good, like a real
I'm really-
steal if you haven't played those games.
I'm bummed they took out the daily deals. Like it's all just like
I
constant
think
deals.
they I think that
they did it for the refund policy.
I think part of the refund probably has something to do with it. I wouldn't be surprised. And also, I feel like the amount of work that probably had to go into like organizing. All right, you're gonna go on sale for this day for this much, because the developer has to agree to like,
That's
you know,
true.
sell their game for that low of a price or whatever, and then be only for this one day, and then like they knew that people were just kind of waiting for the daily.
I know
sales
both
and
Banner
then-
Sagas were on sale
Yeah.
sale for a decent price.
Those are great games. Check those out. I'm just naming. I'm just suggesting. Like I went down the list, and like most of the things I wanted were either already in my library or games that like I know Ethan has that I can play when he's not using Steam or something like Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I was so tempted to get The Witcher 3, but like that's how I felt about The Witcher 2. I waited for a long time on The Witcher 2, and the enhanced edition came out, and everyone
You
was
just
saying
keep
how great it
waiting because I
was.
mean it's only gonna like they keep
Yeah.
And then I
patching
was
it.
like, yeah, okay, I'll
I mean-
get it, and then I got it, and I played a couple hours, and I was like, this is a really good game. I'm not saying it's not a good game.
But
I
it's
just
really dense.
just can't.
Yeah, I think that Witcher.
divest the time into
I
it.
feel like Witcher 3 has done a lot of smart things. Like for example, there's like a really effective fast travel system now too, so you don't necessarily have to just like run back and forth between places and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm like through the kind of initial area, and I'm really excited to play more. I just think Geralt's such a cool character. I think he's a really cool character.
yeah,
Like he kind of subverts a lot of expectations because you kind of expect him to be more grim than he is.
But he actually has like a sixth sense of
he's
humor.
kind of like a he's kind of like a
he's kind of
weird.
sarcastic.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
definitely like kind of a more roguish type than his
Then his
like,
voice
voice
it's really
suggests.
his voice.
Which
His-
actually, it's funny though, because like that delivery then almost adds to part of the sarcasm. Because like when I was summoning the wraith, he's like, all right, I have the body. Now I'm going to burn the bracelet with it. And then the friggin' wraith comes out of the well, and it's like this horrible looking thing. It's like a skeleton with a tattered dress,
kinda
like skin's
skin,
falling
like,
off.
stretched off of it. Yeah,
It's like tongue like flops out of its mouth, and it like roars at him, and he's like, well, that seemed to have worked. and that's it.
yeah, it's like the I think that's one of the things that like especially for the first two games where you're just like I don't know this you just see the clips or you just watch like a little bit of it and you're
he
just like
seems
this
very
seems like the
grim,
most
dark,
generic like
very Wolverine
like
kinda,
I'm a protagonist in a video game. Like that kind of thing, and yeah, you watch a little bit more or play the game, of course, and you do get to see we got way more personality than like even like Shepard in Mass Effect does, or it's
That's
like
true.
a lot of those characters are like I'm gonna be grim and dark, or I'm gonna be like a blank slate that you just write whatever you just put whatever you want, and they give Geralt dialogue options without making him seem like he's just like a blank person. Like he still has his own.
yeah, like all of his dialogue options are colored
And it's
in
not
the
like-
way that
and-
he would
and it's
kind
not
of
like
say it.
be a complete asshole and murder everyone,
Yeah.
or be a nice guy and give everything for free. It's
It's
like no,
like-
it's like he's got like his
I mean, the
own-
way his character is he kind of sits in the middle anyway.
It's
Like,
like
he's kind of
kinda
a chaotic
be-
neutral sort of.
Yeah, most of the options are like be like
pleasant,
be
be,
like
be
con-
conversational,
yeah,
like,
be
like-
conversational or kind of or
or
like
be direct,
be, or
like,
kind of be or like
yeah.
be kind of like a dick, like kind of talk down, like kind of talk down
Yeah.
to people.
Which is interesting because like the position that Geralt starts in Witcher 3 is very different from the one he starts in Witcher 2,
Mm-hmm.
where he's like directly serving under a king in a
Yes.
battle in the
Uh-huh.
very first kind of opening tutorial segment of The Witcher 2.
In Witcher 3, he's straight up kind of on his own like mission,
he
like
boning.
his own personal mission. to-
he on his bone.
He's on his
Mission.
boning. He's on that boning mission.
When
He's
is he
naked
when
in a
is,
tub.
When is he not?
Naked
though?
in a
When
tub,
is he
though.
not?
They somehow even
They had
make
trading
that,
cards in
They
the first
somehow
game.
even make that element of his character kind of like.
Well, the first game was like really juvenile about that
Yeah.
stuff. It was just like collect
But I
trading
think
cards
in
about
the
the women you have sex
But I
with.
think in the second one they cleaned that up. In the third
little
one,
bit.
it feels.
It's still
even
got like
Kinda.
it's
I
still
have
got a
the-
naked woman in the first like opening 2
Oh,
minutes of the
well, it
game.
has the same thing in the third one too.
Yeah.
But even in the GOG version, it comes with like, here is Trish wallpapers,
Extra, yeah, extra
Playboy models, and I'm like, what the what?
Tris
Why?
Marigold.
I don't even remember like, and the quest is the quest in the third one. Aren't you looking? Is it Triss that you're looking for?
No,
it's
another
Yennefer.
another woman.
Is it Yennefer? Yeah,
yes.
it's Yennefer, right? But in
Mhm.
like it just seems like a much more like, even though it's a very big game, like the scope of what you're doing is like
Mhm.
weirdly more like different. Whereas the first game was like, this assassin has been murdering kings all over the world, and now he murdered the one you were like supposed to be
Yeah,
protecting.
the
and
overarching.
now it's like this big grand like the conspiracy, and this one's just like, we gotta find this lady.
Yeah, the overarching kind of like.
Well, there's the wild hunt.
Yeah,
that's
I was
going
gonna say
around.
the
Yes,
world.
there's other stuff.
Like the
sure, sure.
world-threatening like thing seems to be the wild hunt, but again, I'm not like long. I
That
haven't
hasn't,
gotten
like,
in the
been
game
immediately
long
addressed,
enough,
though, right?
yeah.
That's
No,
not-
it's just kind of
The
like
first game opens with like, by the way, like stuff is going down. Like,
it's kind of offhandedly mentioned, and then you kind of have a run-in with it, but then you get away, and it's like I still don't even really know what's going on with the whole wild hunt thing.
yeah, or why they're after.
You'll figure it out, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sure it comes up.
So yeah,
Cool.
gonna play more of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe if it ever goes on like the winter sale next Christmas or something like that, maybe I'll.
Yeah, it seems like a good time.
The perfect Christmas game.
Hooray! Right now I'm over budget on games, so I can't spend any more money,
Bummer.
as someone has told me.
Keep mentioning it on the podcast.
Till
I'm sure that'll open up your budget.
shall we fine with that? There's some games like, this is only $3 for this game.
Nope.
But that's not.
Just don't eat for a day. And they were like, there we go. I can just buy
problem
this
solved.
game.
That's how my budget works. It's like, well, I went over on my food. I guess I'm not buying anything else.
Yeah.
Or I guess I'm just not going to eat
Yep.
because I bought too many video games.
There you go.
Oops.
Perfect.
Speaking of video games, because we haven't been speaking about those at all yet. Ethan, what have you
It's a
been
terrible
playing?
segue. What have I been playing?
Listen, man, it's hard to come up with these segues all the time. You try it.
All right, so I restarted my Total War game and put it on easy because F playing on medium.
Okay.
Because he did tell me this. It's like, I'm like, man, I'm getting my butt kicked, and he's like, I'm doing really good. I changed it to easy, and now I'm winning.
It helps. It just, I don't know, man. It's just medium is just. You can get screwed so easily in the beginning of
and
that game.
so early, yeah. You're
I was
like,
like, you know
but
what,
like
whatever.
early enough, but like late enough to where you're like starting to get invested. You're like, all right, it's like turn 12. I'm getting my stuff built up. It's like, oh nope, and everything's wrecked. Everything's destroyed. I'm still running my dwarf campaign. I have now killed almost all of the goblins in the
I've
world.
killed almost all the green or no. I've almost killed all of the dwarves.
So I've almost killed all of the greenskins, and I have incorporated pretty much all of the other dwarven factions in the region under my banner.
They're really mad about it's really hard to get people to convince them to join you for me.
I don't know how the orcs might have different diplomacy like penalties and stuff like that.
Maybe.
The dwarves, I never fought with any of the other dwarves, so it made it really easy because I was only ever fighting against the dwarf enemies. So I basically that entire mountain range now is
The bottom half of the map.
Like that, the entire like from the tip of where like the Chaos Wastes are all the way down to where the orcs are. That's all me basically. But then in doing so, in moving further north, the dwarves that were right next to the vampire area, obviously became allies of mine and then incorporated into my territories, and they were fighting a bunch of the vampire dudes. So now as I'm like finally finishing off all my armies are down south, finishing off these orcs, all these vampire like full stacks of like these vampire guys just come roaming into my territory and like killing a bunch of
I got
dudes.
the Empire doing that now to me, and it's like
Even when I'm like, yes, I'm finally getting somewhere. Like, oh, great, now these guys are coming in and trashing all my stuff.
yeah. That game's really cool. Again, the loading times are just always a bummer because it's like I don't know if I want to load this up to like play a freaking
Really? It's
game.
not that bad
It just
for
takes
me.
so
I don't
long
know.
for me. I don't know. It just makes me go like,
Maybe it's on
like
your hard drive because you were saying you were on one the other day. If I had
a solid state.
Overwatch like loaded onto a solid state, and I don't. And maybe it's just your hard drive is just slower.
Maybe, I don't know, but either way, it just is like it's just enough for me to be like, is this worth like loading in? Maybe potentially losing more dudes than an auto battle would. I don't know.
Yeah, I do
it sometimes, and I'm like, I
do
got
the battle
impressive
maps
mans.
for when it's an evenly matched force. 'Cause
Yeah, that's usually
your
what I-
auto resolve will always lose you more guys on
Yeah.
an evenly matched.
That's kind of what I've been doing, but these freaking doors, man, they're always like their stupid places are so hard to freaking break down. I have to get like
they have
two.
giant fortresses.
Yeah, I have to get like 2 or 3 freaking armies to get in. Like I got like 4 wargs. I just send them in there, and they're like, rah, and then they just die. And then I'm like, well, they're weak enough. And then I send in other armies, and it's like, no, we still got tons of dudes in here, so deal with it.
the garrison size on those big dwarf.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Those are the
fortresses.
ones I can't break down.
Yeah, those ones have like
Freaking ridiculous.
because you have a army limit of like 20 units per army. But then when you're attacking a settlement, they have just that settlement just has dudes no matter what. Even if there's no army there, that settlement always has like a couple dudes. But then like every capital for each region, especially for the dwarven regions, is like this huge fortress with like big walls and everything like that. And for the dwarves at least, and for a lot of the other factions too, but like those big buildings come with like 13, 14 dudes. So out of a 20 limit on that, if they have any other army presence nearby, they're gonna have like more than a full stack of guys to fight basically.
That sounds. Is there any kind of like weird espionage stuff you can?
You
do
can.
To, like,
You can
get
send
rid
in
of
like a
some of that
specialist
stuff?
to go in and like break the walls down.
Yeah.
And open them up for you, so
The
you can just
goblins
walk
have
in.
like, or the greenskins have like shamans, like goblin shamans that can run in.
You ride spiders.
I've got a rune master now in my dwarf guy.
Ooh.
But then like again, the vampire account's been sending banshees into my territory, which is their version of these little, and they like keep trying to assassinate all my dudes, and that's really
Yeah, I got my
infuriating.
freaking. It's funny how you're like the legendary lord guy can't die. He just like
He gets wounded.
he gets
and
wounded, then
run
you just
back.
recruit him later.
Yeah,
But man, that game's really good. I really am enjoying it, but it's
tough.
it's fun. I
started an Empire campaign just to kind of see, because that was the only faction I hadn't checked out, and they have a really cool starting position. Actually, it seems like that might be a cool place to start.
I just love how like different each of the factions are.
Yeah.
Like the warg mechanic is super fun, and the fightiness is kind of annoying because it's like I'm walking these guys over really far, and they have to travel all this way, and they just get really mad and start killing each other. It's like, oh, fine, I'll set up a raiding camp so you can just murder things and then get your stupid fightiness back up.
Yeah,
And then just having a good time just killing stuff and getting their numbers back up. It's so weird. It's a weird game.
yeah.
The other game I played is Eon Altar.
This is a game our friend John had
Yeah, he recommended it.
pointed out to us.
So it's
You actually tried it.
I did play it. I played it with 2 other friends, and
Is it a multiplayer game?
it's a multiplayer game. So
yeah,
it's a
this
multiplayer.
Is this is the hook. Telling the hook.
So the hook is you play. Your controller is your phone. So it's
Well,
not.
like
It's
Jackbox
not
Party
like
Pack.
Jackbox because you actually have to download a controller app.
No.
And you have to install it, which is kind of but whatever.
Then you
These
get to
people,
install something on the PC.
this is in the casual. Yeah, so you play it on PC.
You have to install like a thing to let the phone connect to the PC.
Yes, and you just have to be on the same Wi-Fi as the PC.
Okay, so it's not
It's
that.
not super crazy. It was pretty easy to set up. It seems to not work on older phones, but like newer phones seem to be fine as things go.
Update fools.
Update the phones. But yeah, that game is interesting because it's sort of like an RPG, like tabletop. It's trying to emulate a lot of things from a tabletop RPG that you
Like,
don't
is
normally
it-
get in video
Is
games.
it grids or squares or whatever?
So it's not grids or squares, but you do move around. It's a turn-based game, which is the only way this would work because the controller is actually like what happens is, let me see if I can actually pull it up for you guys. But it turns into like a circle type thing. I might have to join a game.
This might be not.
Yeah,
clear
I
for
know.
people
But
on the
anyway, there's like a
podcast.
giant circle on your phone,
Mhm.
and there's like a little tiny circle in between it. You can control that circle and put
So
your
it's
person
like a
on special
digital joystick,
things.
is that-
It's like a single joystick.
Yeah.
And you just walk around and put it on things, and yeah, this isn't gonna work. And put it on things and highlight it, and then your character will walk over to it and interact with it or attack,
Okay.
whatever, depending what's going on. So you can just walk around. Also with like the outer rim, you can just control it like an analog joystick,
Mhm.
which is fine. It's not the greatest controls at all, but it doesn't matter because it's turn-based, so you're not like doing really precise movements that often. But the turn-based system combat is actually pretty neat. Because you're doing a multiplayer one, but everyone can just say, "Okay, I'm gonna attack first. I'm gonna attack second." There's no like,
Is it cooperative?
it's cooperative, so you're all on the same team. So at the beginning, you pick like I think it's like there's 5 different classes to choose from, maybe 5 or
Mhm.
6. Each of them have their own little backstory, and you kind of immediately roll into role playing that character in this kind of world. That was one thing that kind of took me off guard, is I didn't realize how much role playing there was because on your screen it pulls up the dialogue of like certain things going on. So you can have like secret conversations with people that you could either choose to tell or choose not to tell. It's like, oh, I want to get this chest. This guy gave me a key to this chest. Like only I can open it.
So what's the game itself like? On is it displayed on a TV screen?
Yes, it's on a
okay.
TV screen. So just
and it's like a what does it look like? Like is it
It's
like a
top-down.
like RPG?
yeah, top down RPG.
Yeah, like kind of like a Diablo style, but turn
Kind of,
based.
yeah. Diablo style, but turn based.
But that was my main question is like comparatively, is it all just combat, or are you like
No, there's a lot of
doing
dialogue
a lot
stuff.
So it's basically like a Dungeons and Dragons, but just
Yeah,
into video
exactly.
game. Into video game.
It's a lot
form.
more. Yeah, it echoes back to that because you are actually reading out your own dialogue. Like it will not show you other people's dialogue. The main person, you can almost imagine the screen as being a GM because like NPCs, they will talk.
And
They'll
like
be
your
fully
and
voiced.
then your dialogue being pre-written.
But your stuff will be pre-written, but you read it out loud. Otherwise, no one will hear it.
It's like taking that, Neverwinter Nights kind of thing, and like instead of making it into a single player RPG, making it into like a multiplayer RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the combat's actually pretty neat because just the fact of having multiple people go at once and learning all these, oh, I moved my character up here. Oh, they're dead. Please revive me or whatever. Or move them to a certain area, and you can get hit by AoE, so you have to kind of coordinate with the team, like, okay, I'm going to attack first. Let me go first and do my moves, and then you can go, and maybe you can pull this person away from me, and then you just see all the enemies move. It has very much attributes and checks, so there's like sneak checks and things like that, so your characters level up, and you can put points depending on your character. So I played this giant cat person who was very good at
Sleeping.
berserking. Yeah, sleeping. Doing berserking stuff as a sellsword.
DPS.
You know, he only goes for money. So so you get your own personal quests as well as main quests. So my personal quest is like find the secret treasure, blah blah blah, in this area.
It was a bell on a piece of string.
On a piece of string, you have to hit it. And get that, and that's my own secret objective. Everyone else had their own little secret objective. They're all trying to do their own
was
thing.
This game?
We didn't finish it. There is
Maybe
one
like a
episode
Dungeons
out
and Dragons
now.
thing. Is it?
There's one episode out now.
Mhm.
I think there's gonna be 3 planned total. I think it's like $5. The one episode is. There's a lot of little like weird budgety things that just is like, oh, this game is definitely on a budget. Like
Yeah.
some things aren't as
Definitely,
as
it doesn't
polished.
look as like
the
nice.
the character
played as well?
design.
No, I've just looked. I just
Oh.
investigated it when.
The game doesn't look that good. It looks okay. Like I feel like the art's just kind of generic. It's not like amazing or anything. I feel the story's like whatever. But playing with friends and like running around and doing like, okay, for example, one time I walked in this room and all the stuff was on fire, and for some reason everyone was able to walk through the fire fine because their checks were so high and their roll it would constantly roll the dice as you were walking around the fire.
Right.
I just walked in and just got burned the entire time. So I was like, oh, and just like I got my character down to like 1 health. I'm like, great, cool, and it's just goofy.
But like, see, in that situation, like, would somebody be able to do something about the fire?
Not
Like,
really,
To put
no.
it out.
No.
Yeah, so it's not like
It's a little
one-to-one.
limited.
It is more like taking like a Neverwinter Nights, because like Neverwinter Nights and all that kind of stuff is like Baldur's Gate, basically like literally right in the D&D universe, right?
Yeah.
It's like taking one of those and adding a little bit more of the like the tabletop game into it,
It's true.
but still not making
It's
it
not
like
on
a
the level
full
of like
open world.
Divinity.
Yeah, still not making it like a full open.
Like Divinity is like very customizable. This is a little bit more of the casual version because it's cool because you can also just sit there and play on your menu and start tapping on things and being like, I'm gonna upgrade this, blah blah blah. Please trade me this stuff. And it's nice to have that all on your own screen so people can be walking around doing stuff while you're just upgrading your dude, as opposed to go to the menu, because I know that was really annoying. And like, I think,
like,
were you there when we played like X-Men Legends? I think the
no.
X-Men
No.
Diablo ripoff.
Yeah, no, I love X-Men Legends,
But you have to stop in the middle of it, and everyone
yeah,
has to level
I mean
up.
that's kind of my whole thing too
or
with
like in real D&D.
playing
Yeah.
like with as cool as I heard the couch co-op like Diablo was on consoles. Like it's pretty much the same thing where you would have to pull up the menu if people want to switch out their gear and
exactly.
stuff. And with the amount of times like in a single player Diablo game where I'm like constantly in menus switching out gear and like comparing stuff, I could picture that being not the best.
Nah, that's why it's better for online. But this was neat to have this kind of co-op experience because you could have the reading and stuff like that. So, I mean, I really think more games should incorporate phones into like
Definitely.
More-
it's an untapped territory that
think that, like,
has a lot of room for potential.
There's a lot of room for just like potential. What I don't want to see is more smart glass nonsense though. Like,
yeah,
the
that's
thing.
not a good.
Like stuff like that is genuinely cool and interesting. When you like have your own little screen, like I feel like a lot of board games, honestly. I mean, like
So many could
the
transfer.
XCOM game tried to use like an iPad or iPhone app. It sounds like the game itself is pretty fun, but like I haven't been. I expect that to be like that was like the first notable one, and I expect that to kind of set off some wave of stuff. And
At least gets people
it's
thinking
delaying,
and
yeah, I
thinking
think-
like, hey, how can we use these phones and what
Yeah.
unique things can we do? Like hidden roles, hidden quests.
Yeah,
I mean,
if the point of the phone is to not make like precise movements or whatever, that's like that would be ideal because you're
Yeah.
still dealing with like latency and,
Well,
and stuff.
yeah,
like
the
that.
ideal is like hidden information is really
Yeah.
what it's ideal for. I mean, like, it's funny how Jackbox came out and everyone's played it. It's been covered on stuff, and we've commented on it briefly. But the idea of using your phone is a pretty big deal. Like in those
Yeah.
games, obviously you're writing down your own answers to things that no one else can see. It is basically like a party game with a piece of paper and a little like cover cheat sheet or whatever. But
Pretty
on
much.
your phone, it's funny. Like it is a big deal. Like you could do lots of
And
cool
it's
stuff with
embracing
that.
something that at least every single millennial has, at least people who like play games and stuff like that.
Millennials.
Millennials.
I hear we're trying to market to them.
Yeah, man. They buy things.
Yeah, God, they're number one demo.
Engagement.
Hashtags. All right, we're done with
Sharp
this.
FE.
Sharp FE. But yeah, the game's neat. Check it out if you're interested in like some sort of local co-op game that
And
is
D&D.
little janky on the edges. Some of the combat's like whatever. Like a lot of the moves
is
are
the
different.
combat just like your character's just standing there and then like it's your
No,
turn
you
to
can
go
actually
you,
move
like,
and
hit
run
a
to stuff.
thing.
There is like a distance thing where it's like this is too far, so you can only move these moves or whatever. Oh no, you ran out of energy, so you do like a basic attack and earn energy. It's super basic combat, but no, it's fine. It makes it easy. It makes it so you don't have to think too much about it. Especially considering like Divinity is a little bit too complicated. Like I like that game, but it's a little bit too dense for me at the times. I just want something simple-ish.
Right.
So, the other game I played was, man, going back to those Hitman levels. I was like, I'm gonna buy this new DLC, and I'm like, wait a second.
Marrakesh, right? That's the new one.
Yeah, but then I just didn't buy it. I just played the old levels. I just went back to Paris and found all these rooms I didn't even know about. These games' levels are so dense. But here's the thing that's fun.
How's it fun?
This is the part that I found cool.
What was cool?
Is you go up to the very top of the attic
Yeah.
in the Paris mansion.
Uh-huh.
You go to the very back corner.
Yeah.
And you can find a vampire magician outfit.
Okay.
And then there's a whole bunch of challenges for doing crazy stuff in the vampire magician outfit. One of them is assassinate targets and escape through the bottom of the mansion. Someone's like electrocute people to death or something like that. But I did I didn't know this. I didn't know these challenges, so I just found it and was like, I just gotta be a Chivo for just doing the mission. So I did the mission, and it was oh man, I just got on top of like this tall scaffolding type thing. Not scaffolding, lighting fixture, and just immediately shot the first guy you're supposed to kill because he came out on stage and looked up and saw my second target was literally looking at me through the glass, and I was like, all right, you're dead too, bang. And I was like, magician, blah, blah. And it's great because all the guards just go, I don't know what's up with this, some guy running around and like he looks like a vampire man. He's just running around, he's so goofy. Shoot him on sight. And you're like, and I'm sitting there hiding on like the edge as everyone's looking around, and then and eventually it just turned into me being sneaky and just running around. And the thing that's funny about it is that outfit, everyone is suspicious of you instantly. Because it's just because goofy ass looking dude just running around in Paris. This game is so great. There's so many like just weird little things that
I love the really dumb lines of dialogue that
it's so dumb.
the guards have. They're like, someone's doing something they shouldn't, and then, like when they're like suspicious of somebody but they don't know where you went, like someone's doing something they shouldn't, and they're like running around like.
it's so much. I love my favorite
Also-
part about that game is when the parts when it goes wrong and you try to correct it and somehow you can most of the time, but it's always in like the
It always,
worst
like,
way.
makes things it's like dominoes into something else.
Yep.
I like also how jumpy or like how extreme everyone gets, because like so I watched a video of the Marrakesh one, and like you know how there's like areas that you're not supposed to go in, you have you have permission to go in or whatever,
Yeah.
and if you get caught in those areas you'll be found trespassing. So like he went like behind a shopping stall and didn't realize that was like an off limits area, and like the person like at the stall just like looked at him immediately and was like, found trespassing, and that person just goes running off to a guard who immediately just walks up to him and shoots him, and it's like, whoa, this is extreme.
Yeah, there's some of that.
There's another part where he like turned off like a fan, just turned off this fan, and it was like, doo. And the guy was like, what are you doing? And everyone was like looking around like, going, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then like the guard comes up and goes like, put your hands up right now. And he's like, what? And he's
Turn off the
shot
fan.
for turning off this fan.
There was another one where it's like I'm dressed as like a busboy and I walk up to the security guys and they're like, you can't come here. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I start walking away and they're like, you tried to come here. And they just start they just immediately get alerted.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it's like if
why?
you,
I just
if you
want to
like
know.
stand in their proximity for too long, like
It gets pissed off.
they get aggressive, quote unquote. But like that can sometimes be just the amount of time it takes you to go
Mhm.
oh okay, and then like turn around and that's already too late.
It's just
Imagine if that was like how things worked in
I
real
know.
life.
What man? Sometimes it is.
but just the fact of like
Real
finding
Truth bomb.
finding all this stuff in the level. Like for example, I didn't know that there was a pipe you could climb up and get like and cut off halfway through most of the running around in the second level of the mansion. You can just
Yeah.
climb up a pipe and just go in the back way and
You
just
get a mushroom.
murder a dude.
And
Yeah, you
then-
get a
and
pipe
then- and
mushroom.
then you get a mushroom.
Murder a dude. And then I started looking at all the challenges. I'm like, man, I should do some of these. So
Did
one
you
of
do
them.
some of the like the elusive targets yet? The
No,
the
I
ones
haven't-
Like,
I
you
haven't-
got 48 hours and you got one
no,
shot.
I haven't been able to
Kill
play
this
during any of those
person.
times, but I just kept doing the escalation missions, which are super fun because the first one's like
It's like-
really easy.
It's like kill this person, and it's like kill this person, but only do it with a knife.
Well,
And it's
this
like,
one,
kill
the,
this
the
person
first one
with
is
a knife.
kill this man with a saber, and I'm like, okay. I walk in, I'm like, well, here's a saber, and I smash it, and I get it. And this guy turns like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, ah, and I kill him, and it was the target. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I did it, and I was running off, and I'm like, yeah, first one done. The second one's like, all right, now kill him and hide the body within 90 seconds. Okay, I did the thing. It was easy. Third one's like, all right, kill him with the saber, but beforehand you have to kill the chef. So kill the chef, hide his body, and then hide the other guy's body within 90 seconds. I'm like, okay, I did that, and it's like, now do the entire thing in 5 minutes. And I was like, okay, and I did that, and I did it just like I got like a good minute left. I did it in pretty good time. And then the last one's like, and this is the
when,
one-
when it reloads you, the state is exactly the same, right? There's no randomization, so those
No.
people are gonna be in the exact
They're
same
gonna be in the
spot
exact
at the
spot.
exact same time. Like
Yeah.
you can really get to them. Like if you know where to go, what to do, you can
yeah, and then you can perfect it.
perfect the run.
And then the last one is like, all right, do all that, but randomly there's laser trip mines all over the mansion, and you have to find this like special thing to disarm them. And I was like, and so I tried doing my mission, and I was like, maybe I can hide under these. Just blows you up and kills you. I'm like, F this game, it's too hard now.
Turn it to easy.
The game, yeah, the game's
Turn it to easy.
so fun. I'm
game.
just
I wanna,
surprised like how
watch you play that
detailed.
game. That's
Yeah.
I don't really have too much of a desire to play it myself, but I want to like watch you.
Oh,
play it.
I do dumb things.
I know.
It's
I
fun.
Bet. That's why I bet it'd be fun to watch.
Magician.
I'm a magician. There's so many weird things. Like one of them in the second mission is like kill the target with a cannon, kill the other target with the antique cannon as well. And it's like what? The other one's like shoot his airplane down with the cannon while he's in it. What? I didn't even like half
You
the
have
stuff
to
I don't
make
even
him
know.
Get in the plane and then shoot it.
I know in the
I
third
guess.
DLC, you can kill someone with, like a military grade, like tank. You can like kill
Cool.
someone with like an anti-aircraft rocket on the back of a truck.
It's
Like,
great
you could,
because
like,
it
you can
tells
use
you-
that to,
It tells you
or
can.
an APC. It was an APC.
Oh,
you
okay.
can use an APC, like a giant armored personnel like cannon on the top of it
Just murder someone.
to kill one of the bad.
Totally overkill. I think I like about it is it tells you all the challenges. Like here's what you can do. We're not gonna tell you how to do it, but here's what you can do. One of them's like push a guy off a cliff, and I'm like, how do I do that? Well, first you got to get the spaghetti, and you got to poison the spaghetti, and then when he eats the spaghetti, he gets real mad. He gets real sick, and then he goes.
real mad.
He does get mad.
Ah!
First off, he hates it.
Spaghetti.
Why
First
is there
off,
poison in here?
First off, he hates the spaghetti because the spaghetti is gross and he has not made the right recipe. He butchered his mom's recipe or whatever. But then the other thing is he gets sick and he goes to a cliff and starts throwing up over the cliff, and all the guards are like, "Well, you have fun with that." And then at that point you just go kick and kick the guy off the cliff, and it's like, here's his points for kicking a guy off a cliff.
Nice.
But it's like you
Nice.
never would have got that immediately, so it
Mhm.
still gives you some room to figure out what's going on.
yeah, that's a cool feature to like to let you know what you're capable of doing, but not necessarily telling
not
you how to
hand-holding
do
you
it.
too
Because
much.
like I feel like in past Hitman games, it's like check out this really crazy thing that you can do. And
That
it's
was
like I would have never guessed that you could have ever done that.
Yeah, that's what like Absolution was like totally hand-holdy, and then Blood Money was the opposite, where I was like, just figure it out, man.
You gotta know what you gotta do.
And this is a great
this
mix.
Is in between where it's like we'll tell you, we'll put an objective marker on there unless you want to turn that off.
And you can even turn on super objective markers to see
It's
everything.
just like here's everything that you could have done. If you
Yeah, I don't want to do that. That's too easy. Give me some challenge. Anyway,
There's also one in the second one where you can dress as a masseuse and give the guy a massage. You snap his neck.
That's not massage.
And there's two buttons. There's two buttons. It's like 'cause you like start the massage and he's like talking to you and he's like I don't know like talking about what's going on.
Mhm.
And it's like there's two buttons, like one stop massage or two snap neck. What option do you choose?
choices in video games.
So that's Hitman.
That game was great. Still,
The game sounds pretty good.
and I still haven't even played the third mission. Don't need
Is
to.
there gonna be one more, or is the third one the last?
Oh no, there's like at least 6, like 3 more planned after that.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
that's cool.
tons. They got
That seems
a.
cool.
It's just crazy. Anyway, is that it for games?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played anything new.
Me?
I just playing Overwatch.
No, nobody plays Overwatch.
The game is
anymore.
done. It's over. It's had its day.
Is done.
McCree got nerfed, so it's no longer.
Not on
Tor-
consoles.
it's no
Torbjorn's
longer-
gonna get nerfed on consoles.
Is McCree gonna get nerfed? McCree's gonna get nerfed.
I
on
believe
consoles.
so.
You would have to, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And especially if they're gonna nerf Torbjorn,
Yeah,
they have to probably. Probably.
Yeah.
it's funny because Torbjorn is like the character I play the least on the PC because I just feel
Mhm.
like this guy's not that good. Like he's not like he's terrible, but I just every time I play him, my turret gets wrecked. and
That's
I-
the thing is like I've only played on consoles, so like and on consoles he's really
the
good.
turning speed of people's aiming is not
Yeah.
fast or accurate enough to do it for an auto adjusting thing. I guess that brings us to the news.
Well, luckily, speaking of Overwatch, the first thing on this news is in
Okay.
Korea, Overwatch is now the game of choice for more than 30% of gaming cafe patrons, beating out League of Legends
Whoa.
27%.
It's a Blizzard game.
Man, but it dethroned League of Legends, dude.
Yes,
League.
because it's a Blizzard game.
Yeah, but Blizzard didn't like Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, but dude, that's like for casuals.
I
That's a
guess.
casual
Like,
game. for
Koreans are
nerds.
hardcore only.
Okay.
Besides, like Star, yeah,
hardcore
they like
only.
StarCraft.
Do they only play all Diva? Is it Diva?
Probably.
The national pride.
Yes.
No, because there's that one chick that plays Zarya.
Oh
Did
yeah.
you hear about that? The girl,
What-
the girl who had got accused of like cheating, and like 2 or
Yes.
3 pro gamers were like, "We're gonna quit if she's not cheating," and then Blizzard's like, "No, she's not cheating."
Yeah.
She's just really good.
is-
And then like the team that she's like signing up for, like the team that she's signing up for actually like posted a video of like a live stream of like 2
Mhm.
hours of her like playing the game.
yeah.
And it's like here she is, like you can see her and you can see her feed, and she's just playing.
That's a cool. That's yeah.
She had like
she's-
an 80% win.
I
with,
like
with
how-
Zarya.
I like
that's
how-
crazy.
I like how people too were like I saw some of the comments like, yeah, I used the AOE character. I'm like, have you tried to play Zarya?
Zarya's
like,
really hard to
Zarya's
play
a pretty
with.
tough character
She's the
to
best
play
character.
effectively as. No, she's a really, really good
No, she's
character.
good. She's good, but she's very
It's
hard to
just
play.
like,
She's
yeah.
my favorite. But yeah, she does have a bit of a learning curve.
It's not like
She's much less effective as a solo tank. Less effective, not that she's like because her
Yeah,
her,
she's
her
very
shields last for like what, a second?
About a
Like-
second,
like,
yeah.
like, so they're just not like if you want to like tank a shield for a whole team, and her health is
you have
pool is
to
relatively small.
You have to
And also,
really
that shield
think-
does, like, if you do enough damage to it, it'll pop. So,
You have to really just think about. She's a character you really have to think when you're using.
yeah.
Unlike some other characters.
What characters do?
Now you have to think with him a little bit.
My turret.
Well, yeah, no, Torbjorn on consoles is literally just set it up, go stand over here, kind of
Just
shoot.
shoot a little
Oh, somebody's
bit.
somebody's killing it. Hit
Yeah.
it again. Oh,
Torbjorn's-
it's gonna die. No, it's not.
Molten core.
Run up, spam the shotgun, run back, hit it a couple more times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Die,
Die.
die.
What a fun guy.
Good. It's good.
He's so nice.
I like playing Reaper actually sometimes.
I
It's
had some
fun.
really good games this morning, and then I played this afternoon with other friends too. That I usually play with and play well with, and I was just like, I can't even shoot a person today.
Today is not a good shoot.
May's good.
It's
I like
good.
May.
You guys try the new Brawl, the defense only Brawl?
Nah,
Nah.
I haven't played any of those. I really
Oh, you
wanted to
should.
play.
I mean, I play
really
them once.
wanted to
I
play
play them
the
once,
Sol-
and then I'm
I
done.
really wanted to play the All Soldier 76
That one's
one,
really
but
dumb.
then
We're all
like,
dads now.
It's like playing Call of Duty.
That's
So sounds awesome.
All right, let's stop talking about Overwatch because
All
we're
right,
gonna go down
we'll
that
talk
hole
about
again.
Ricardo's new favorite subject,
Like
VR.
dad hole.
Yeah,
I don't believe it. It's not even.
But
a
this
thing.
isn't about the one true VR.
It's true. This is not about
This
the one
isn't
true
about
VR.
One I only support the VR in the north.
Yes.
Will you ride with the VR of the North? Will you ride and die with the Palmer Lucky?
The VR of the north. The VR of the north.
We've been loyal to
VR of the
we've been
North.
loyal to Lucky
VR
for
of
all
the
these
North.
years, and he now begirds us from letting us use our Rift games on our Vive console things. I don't know.
Before they were like, it's gonna be open for everyone.
No,
they
said it was gonna be they said they were gonna be Rift exclusives, but they didn't really say what that meant.
And they
for a while.
but they also did. It was one of those things where Palmer Luckey, being like a pretty genuine dude, it seems like a pretty nice guy as well. Like, again, I don't know him personally, but this is just what I hear and what I've seen in video, and a pretty like normal kind of guy, and like not a super like business like, I'm gonna get my talking points, like, you know what I mean? Like, he would just say things like, yeah, we'd like really love for it to be open, like, and he wasn't promising that it would, but he would just be like, yeah, that'd be awesome, I think that'd be great. Like, he's just kind of saying, like, talking.
Open being that Oculus exclusive VR games like Lucky's Tale and like E-Valkyrie, two I can think of, would run on, like, have platform parity, so you can play them on the HTC Vive.
Yeah,
so you don't have to play on
that kind of stuff. And then a lot of people were like, well, I want all the games to be available for anything that I want to use.
That honestly, one of the things I was thinking about, I was like, man, Oculus, like, they have more games because they're exclusive, so that seems like a cooler thing to get. Maybe, I don't know, if I was,
right,
going through it. But,
I mean, that's 100% a valid reason. I mean, Oculus wants that, right? I mean,
yep. But now you're able to let's start back a little bit.
Yeah,
Oculus released these games, but then someone came through
and made this mod hack thing
where you could play them on HTC Vive. Now, the interesting thing about it was that these would like get rid of the software check completely. That means you could pirate these games.
Yeah, so like the guy like made this tool and like literally said, like, he like posted it online, and like in the same post is like, by the way, this makes it able to pirate, but please don't do that. Like, it's just really weird that, like, I feel like he was probably being honest, and he wasn't he wasn't being like wink wink, but at the same time, it's like, man, you're just publishing this this thing that lets people pirate.
Maybe he just assumed that people would have figured that out, like,
and I'm sure.
Quickly,
yeah, I'm sure he knew that.
So it's better to come out in front of it instead of just everyone else saying like, it's a pirating tool. It's like, no, well, it's not what I intended it to be.
Right, but I guess it just seems weird that it's like, the weird thing is that, like, you would then, is it responsible? This is an ethics question. This is not a yes or no. Yeah. Like, there's a solid right or wrong. But I'm just like, is it responsible to publish this at all anymore? Even if, sure, maybe you're intending it for good, but now you've given somebody like a literal like way to just completely, like, blatantly go around. Not like, oh, I didn't even think about that.
No, I mean, someone's gonna do that anyway.
It's like, no,
probably.
I know I can do this, but I'm still gonna publish it. Like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's gray. It's a gray area for sure. I'm not.
But now,
they blocked this guy.
They blocked this guy.
They blocked his software.
They got that software. They patched the bug out. People were pissed. Like, this has been going on. Like, I follow a decent amount of people in VR just because I think it's an interesting space to follow. And people have been very back and forth on this sort of subject a lot.
It feels like Oculus is getting the negative end of the public.
They're getting the negative end of the public eye a lot. Mainly because of like their problems with their shipping. The shipping is just still, people are still not getting the pre-orders.
Some problems in communication, honestly, of like before release and then like post release, the change of like, we're aiming for this, and it's like, oh, it turns out this is what it actually is going to be. Like, again, no promises were made. You can say, you can find fault on both sides here, the public expecting too much, but then there's also just this idea, there's like the expectations were set in a certain direction, and then they kind of like didn't fulfill.
I think you have a responsibility to definitely temper those expectations as the distributor to a certain degree.
Totally.
Sure. But it's not an easy. There's this no matter what. There's this cross wires all over the place here.
But what happened was eventually Oculus removed the headset check in their DRM software of the runtime. So now it'll just be like, whatever, just play. You can just play those games on the Vive now, which is interesting because
now you don't even need this software.
You don't even need that, which was a very interesting move on their part, because I remember them always saying, like, at least for a while, like, these are exclusive games. But then Palmer's like, I think it's fine that they're exclusive games, and then Gabe Newell's like, there shouldn't be exclusive games. This platform is too new. We need to have everyone sharing as much as they want, so we can all,
He sits on his bed of cash that he
goes
to sleep on every night. And knives, bed of cash and knives.
Cash and knives.
And Palmer should have said, all right, they'll be open if you deliver Half-Life
3. And then
your move.
Your move, Gaben.
And so they made a statement. They didn't really put it in the patch notes, but they made a statement to Polygon that said, like, we won't use hardware checks in the future as part of our DRM and PC. So.
Well, I think that's probably a good balance, because for the only thing I can see that makes more sense now is that, because I forgot about the piracy aspect of it, by blocking the software that enables you to pirate, but then taking out your own check on the headset. Now the only way to buy those things is still through the Oculus store.
Yep.
So even Vive owners have to buy it from the Oculus store, thus giving Oculus some money. But a Vive owner can still play the game, which is what people were like. The legit people who were upset, who were actually
That's true.
upset for a real reason, they were upset about that.
Yeah.
So the benefit is now no more piracy, theoretically, no more piracy, and the people who are mad shouldn't be mad anymore unless the only reason they were mad was about piracy.
Well,
Unless
it's
they
interesting-
just wanted to
yeah.
pirate games, and then so then they have no leg to
Well, it's
stand
interesting
on.
to think about all this because Valve has so much more data on like how people use things and how people use games and stuff like that. While Facebook's brand new in all of this, from hardware manufacturing to video games in general. Like maybe they have some stats on casual games, but you know.
And while Valve may be new on the hardware manufacturing side, they're not the ones manufacturing the hardware that's
Exactly.
HTC.
HTC,
So
who's got
they're
tons of
very good.
experience. Yeah, they know what they're doing. So I don't know. It's very interesting.
It is interesting. It's especially interesting to me. I think that, like, speaking back to like the customer relations side of things, like I feel like it's since Facebook bought Oculus, the winds have slowly been shifting
Towards like
against like against Oculus, like not like to where like everyone hates them or anything like that, but just like the direction behind, like everyone was like 100% behind if they were into VR at least. Like that was like because they were the only platform at first. Like there was no Sony VR announced and there was no Vive announced. And then two, there's this Kickstarter indie dev that are now making it big and making this big old
scrappy
platform.
little dude.
And they
just
got
make
John
the stuff.
Carmack now
Yeah.
on board.
Cinderella story.
Exactly. And then Facebook buys them and instantly everyone's like really like upset about that.
And then they kind of came around and were like, okay,
All right,
it
fine.
seems they're fine.
And it's like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. Like, oh, well, some of these things might not come true. And then also, we didn't tell you how much the price was until the day that they're on sale. And then, oh, wait, we said that you're going to get them on this date. Now they're like 3 months.
Zuckerberg.
They're like 3 months delayed. So it just didn't.
Like none of these
go well.
none of these practices are.
They're all things that have happened to other companies.
Yeah,
they're all
I mean,
like
they're
things
not,
that
they're
happen.
Not, they're not.
They're not scuzzy. You know, they're
No,
not like
they're just
not
like
being.
They're just not good.
They're just bad things that have happened to them, and they haven't done a great job of messaging.
Yeah.
Like they haven't just done a great job of staying on top of their own like direction. You know what I mean? They haven't been able to point their thing in the right.
They haven't been there for the VR community, the ones who have been there from the beginning.
Except for the ones that they gave free
That
final
was
kits
that was
out
pretty
to.
sick. That was very good. Of
That
them.
was only after people complained.
No, it wasn't. That was immediate.
No, it was not immediate. It
Oh
was
yeah,
not
I guess you're
immediate.
right.
It was
Because
like
immediately, as soon as Facebook bought out, they were like,
everyone was like, "What the heck? We kickstarted this, and now you're selling out." And they're like,
It's true.
"No, dude, we delivered the dev kits to you, which was what you paid for." And everyone was still like, "No, this is supposed to be an independent thing."
All right, how
now
about you all get
Facebook's
brand new
Like,
riffs?
all right, fine. Everybody who kickstarted it, they get a new one when it launches. And I was like, okay, I'm happy.
I guess that's
I'm
okay.
happy now.
Boop, 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 boop.
Let's stop being baby.
Ricardo,
What? What up?
when are you gonna get? You get
PlayStation
day
VR.
Day
one purchase.
Day one edition.
Yes.
With what game?
I
What
don't
software,
believe it until you pre-order it.
What software item will you purchase?
That London heist game.
It's not a game. It's a collection of experiences.
Yeah. You need the Batman experience.
Batman.
The Batman Arkham experience.
Under the cowl.
Hashtag under the cowl.
Hashtag. Yeah. Hashtag.
Like, wear the
yes.
cowl. Hashtag wear the cowl. I think
Hashtag. What else is there?
Hashtag
Hashtag
wear the cowl.
X-wing experience.
Guys, the real one is Res Unlimited.
Res
Get those
Unlimited.
vibrators all over your body.
Get
the
all
bodysuit.
the vibrating
Baby.
suit. Make sure that you have your PlayStation Eye camera hooked up. We won't be displaying this anywhere. It's just for the sensors and
Also,
stuff.
you gotta buy some Move controllers.
Yes.
Hey
Get 'em
Ricardo,
now.
this is an interruption, but do you want to talk about that karaoke experience we had last night? Mainly the guy
Those
singing.
are vibrators.
The one guy singing. No, I was just
Which,
thinking about
which
horrible
one
things.
are we talking about?
The boys.
Oh
What?
yeah.
What? The boys?
No, there was this like I don't know. We went to a this bar that we've been to in LA before last night, and they're just like all of a sudden,
Man, we're telling a story for you. Pay
like,
attention.
all of a sudden there was a guy doing like messing around with the turntables, and like then he messed around with the TV, and then it popped up and it was like, oh snaps, it's karaoke tonight, and I love
I
karaoke.
saw the Snapchat.
Yeah, and I love karaoke. And so, there were a bunch of regulars and a bunch of people singing. It's LA, so it's like I feel like it's more weirdos than
It's a very hip. It's weird. It was in Chinatown, but there's only white people there.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
It's
you
like
guys
the
were
hipsters.
you guys were in the wrong place of Chinatown then.
No, this was literally in the middle of Chinatown.
That's what,
like
right next
That's what I'm
door.
saying. You guys were in the wrong place in
yes,
Chinatown.
yes,
You were not in
for
a
certain.
real. You were not in a real Chinatown.
But yeah, no, there was this one tall, lanky guy. He went up and I can't remember what the title of the song is.
Did you guys
It's
know there was
called
gonna be
I Know
karaoke?
What Guys
Wait,
Want.
did you guys know there was gonna be karaoke there?
Nope.
No,
Okay, so
not
you
at
weren't-
all.
you
We were
weren't, like-
taken completely aback and by surprise, and also
Unawares.
unawares.
Me underwear.
And
me
so
unawares.
this guy goes out and he's gonna sing that song. I know what boys like.
Okay.
I know what
I think
guys want.
I think I've heard this song.
I know what boys like.
I got what boys want.
But he goes up.
Is this sung in the original song is sung by a lady?
A lady,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
But it's a
Sure.
dude singing it.
Yeah,
And not only is it
okay,
a dude
so
singing
That's
it,
whatever.
but he goes up and he goes, I know
Okay. So the entire song.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
the whole
The
song.
entire-
he
And
just,
here's the thing: is the lyrics changed, and he just kept going. I know what boys want." Me and Ricardo could not stop laughing, and I felt really. I
Wait,
didn't
like
know if-
loudly? Was he able to? Hear you?
I don't know because also I don't know if he was being serious because it was so comically bad.
yes, that was the
You
thing.
wonder if
It
maybe
was like-
someone like he lost a bet or something like that, and
I
they're
don't
like, "You gotta
know.
go up there and sing this
or
song."
he was
every
like doing a
time."
bit, or I don't know what he was doing. But
Is this weird alt comedy thing?
Yes.
Like,
It
like
was the weirdest
this
thing.
is my non-humor comedy
Exactly.
comedy routine.
But he was like singing. The performance was like
weird.
How's
like
his stage
weird.
presence?
He was
How's his stage
pretty
He was just
good.
kinda shuffling
He was
back
kinda
and
like
forth.
shuffling, but like it was the same thing.
He just kept saying the same thing over and over again the entire song. It was
Wait,
so
turn the
weird.
verses and stuff.
Yes.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why it was
It
weird.
was just so weird because like it started up and he was doing that and it's like okay, and then the song continued for like 3 minutes. and it
Speaking
was
of weird
just-
things I saw,
In L.A.
no, this is actually closer. I went to the gym with Brandon, and there was a guy wearing a luchador mask the entire time while
was he
lifting
a
weights.
was he a luchador?
Maybe,
Because
but
you know
they
they
can't-
have to keep
They
their
can't.
masks
They
on.
can't.
really?
Yeah, in
Otherwise,
public.
people will recognize them.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know if that's actually true.
But that seems
That doesn't
silly.
make
Why
any
would-
sense because they're only on stage when they have the mask on, so the people would recognize the mask more than
Yeah, but you gotta be. It's an honor thing.
Okay.
I,
I
I,
like
I,
the
actually, I actually
same
didn't know
mask.
that was a real thing. I was
I
just
know.
making a joke, and it turns out I was right.
No.
Truth is stranger than fiction sometimes, folks.
Could possibly was an actual luchador.
You might be right. He looked a little too fat, but anyway.
Hey,
Um,
discriminate.
no.
I'm proud of you guys. I thought that was gonna be like a gay, like a homophobic story at first.
No, why?
Because like they're singing a song. This song is that song like a,
No.
No, this is weird.
I give you guys the benefit of the doubt. I didn't stop you. I was just listening.
You know why? It's because.
He's doing a 100%
There was,
perfect impersonation.
There was one time that we did karaoke at a bachelor party up in like Big Bear area.
Mhm.
We were gonna go bowling, and like the wait for like bowling was like forever. And then there's like a little bar they had, and they were doing like karaoke, and there's like no one in this bar. So like we came in, and our friend Chance, who just like loves to be center of attention, center
Mhm.
stage, and it's really funny, so we don't mind. It's like I'm gonna sing a bunch of songs, and he sung a bunch of like ironic songs. He sang "Say My Name, Say My Name," and there was only like one other group that was really doing the karaoke before we got there, and they had like they had these like two couples were there, and they were like pretty wasted, and this one lady like totally knew that song, and she's like yes, and she like got up and started singing it with him, and like she was like 40 something, like 50s,
Nice.
like it was
Perfect.
really hilarious. He was like totally into it. And then
love
like
karaoke.
other groups came in, and like because we were so like bombastic, it got everybody else to start doing stuff. When before it was like no one in this tiny little like bowling
Life
bar.
of the party.
And then like it's getting close to the end of the night, and this guy gets up and he's gonna sing Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's
Okay.
like oh boy, good
Yes,
song,
you do.
good song choice there. Everyone-
Original.
yeah, everyone likes that, and he's probably like our age, like young 20s, maybe like late teenager, and it's a similar sort of thing. If he just stands up there, totally like still, and he's like, "Mama, I just killed a man," and he's like, and he's like kind of looking like sad, like he's like not very like into it, like he's just standing very still. He's got like a hoodie, like he's got like he looks like an emo kid from like late high school or something like that.
Should have been singing Fall Out.
And then we ended up all going up there to sing with him because we're just like this. Okay, I can't sit for 5 minutes and watch this guy just stand here and and that song's good for singing in a group anyway.
Definitely.
So it worked out. But
That is
the entire time, even after we joined him, he just stood there and like Chance is like diving around the stage, like running around doing stuff, and everyone else is getting into it, and he's just like
Just
standing there with the mic right next to him, like
No showmanship, man.
I love karaoke.
Anyway, that was our karaoke news.
That's karaoke news of the day. I know what karaoke wants.
know
what karaoke likes.
Mm.
So
If that guy
Nintendo,
listens to this podcast, guys, he's gonna be so upset. He's like, they didn't like me. They didn't like me.
No, man, you were cool. But speaking of not cool, I think I know what story this is that's going up.
Nintendo denies Paper Mario Color Splash makes jokes about online hate campaign.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh!
That was
The
really
Twitter blew up
weird.
that day.
See, Twitter was weird. Okay, here's the thing.
Twitter
I
was
saw
weird.
the
No, wait,
stuff.
stop right there. Twitter was weird. That's the end of that.
Twitter
That's
is
the end of that
weird.
news.
Twitter will always be weird.
Okay, so people immediately thought they did a stream. This was at
Oh boy, I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
So the thing that's weird about it to me is the fact that they immediately associated it with the recent Gamergate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When to me it seemed more like Watergate.
Well, it was. Here's the thing.
Okay.
The way that it was presented via screen caps on Twitter was as if two elements of a certain scene came right after one another, and they both related very closely to the Zoe Quinn whole Gamergate
and
situation.
The spark that ignited
Yes.
the Gamergate explosion.
Exactly. So Zoe Quinn herself was the one
Freaked
who
out.
got very, very upset.
Very upset.
About the whole situation.
And I say freaked out, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I just mean like that she was very upset. And
Yeah,
I guess
extremely
if you
upset.
thought that was about you and someone was making light of it,
Mhm.
that would be very, very upsetting. So I
And
don't
naturally,
blame
that's
that.
ended up.
By the way, I would also have to say that it was also published on a Gamergate Reddit before she found it.
I
She might have
see.
even found it from there, or someone might have
Interesting.
forwarded it to
Yeah.
her from there. So the screenshots were posted on a Gamergate Reddit, which I'm not going to even bother to name, first, and then she discovered them.
But
so
like
the connotation was there,
naturally,
immediately.
and so naturally, there's huge, reaction on both sides. People saying like
I'm gonna boycott
what,
Nintendo's games
what is
from now
Nintendo
on.
doing? How could they make light of such a dire situation? And then people on the other side going, obviously, it's not what that's not what it is. Blah blah blah. And
Even though we were laughing at it.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think cooler heads prevailed, and
Everyone
was
kind of toned down.
took
that
a step
explosive.
back, actually looked at the full clip, and was like, okay, this is probably a Watergate reference. But a lot of people were saying, I think Patrick Klepek and I want to say Austin Walker also kind of had the same, kind of had the idea that the burden of gatekeeping is sort of on the developers to kind of when they're going through a localization process
the Gate.
to look at the context of the things that they're saying in terms of a current climate and stuff like that. I don't know. It's a really sticky situation because essentially they were saying
you could have had a localizer that wouldn't even have known about that.
Essentially, they were saying that even if that was not at all what you meant,
You should have realized that could have been
that
taken
was
that
how
way.
it could have been construed, and you should have gone with a different.
And it's also unfortunate because everything nowadays, if something goes wrong, they put gate at the end too, which is
there's a Mitchell. Are you guessing the Mitchell and Webb sketch for that?
No.
Oh, it's great. Basically, they're just talking about they're one of them's reading the newspaper. Like, man, it's gotta be the biggest conspiracy since Watergate Gate. What are you talking about? It's just Watergate. It's like, no, it's Watergate Gate. Because, it was at the Watergate Hotel, and you add gate to the end of anything that's like a big, kerfuffle or conspiracy. So it's Watergate Gate. And he's like, no, it's not. It's just Watergate, and everything started after that. And he explains the real thing. He's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. So what would you call a conspiracy about water? You'd call it Watergate. Oh,
Well, that's kind of like the whole like, oh, I'm a chocoholic. It's like, no, you're not. There's no such thing as chocohol. It's not chocohol. It's alcoholic because it's alcohol. You can't say you're a chocoholic.
You're a chocolate.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Chocolate.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know where I end up. Like, I can see both.
I can see both sides 100%.
Both sides.
I bet the localizer did not even know
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
a thing.
I think,
Like,
it's that.
that's,
I think
that's
they might have been
most likely
referencing Watergate. Maybe. Probably.
There's no. I feel like Nintendo as a company, but also the localizing, knowing the kind of team that they have on their localization, would not ever want to make a joke.
And of
about
course it
that.
goes
I don't
back.
think
And of
that
course
would
it
ever
goes
be-
back to like the whole
But that
idea
said, it's
that,
still not.
and especially because it goes back to the whole like thing where Nintendo fired
What's her?
I can't
Oh,
remember
yeah.
what
What's
her
her face
name
is a
is.
bad way to refer to a
What's
person.
her face?
She got
Who
fired on
cares?
Oh,
Who
gosh,
cares?
I'm an
Whatever.
asshole. I'm such a jerk. Allison.
Rowe.
I mean, I can't remember.
Oh, that's the game.
I'm bad. I'm a jerk. I feel like it was Allison.
It's Allison, I think.
Yeah, well, it's
no, I
it
don't
says the
remember.
guy who brought it up, but can't remember her name.
Allison Brie. She was really good on Community, and they fired her. How dare they?
No, but like over the whole
Similar degrees of. Well, I mean, no, technically
Tone
she was fired for
deafness.
having another job.
But Nintendo actually came out and said, like,
Technically,
yo,
yeah.
these are not actually references.
They finally their PR team was like, oh gosh, things are on fire on the internet right now because of a screenshot. So
And of course,
I
also
haven't
too with the
actually-
whole like Onuma, and I think it also was fan the flames the whole Onuma like comments about like.
his
Well,
terrible comments about
if
Link.
Zelda's the hero, what will Link do?
No, what if
God.
Link was a girl? What if Link was a girl? We have Link.
Well, then
we
who
have
will
Link.
rescue the princess?
Oh.
You don't get it, do you?
Yeah. So I think it was just kind of like the worst possible time for.
I was really
that to
excited for
happen.
Link to be a girl.
Me too. That would have been
I
interesting.
think it would
Especially
have been
in this
interesting.
game, you can take your clothes off. Am I right? Am I right,
I think-
guys?
Yeah, what up? Finally. The first game.
The first game where you can take your clothes off and Link's a girl. Best of both worlds.
of the Wild, more like
Breath of the Wild.
Breath gone wild.
They run wild and free. No bra.
I was actually kind of digging the idea of you actually getting to choose maybe like.
Oh,
the
yeah, I mean,
gender
that
of
would've been
Link.
cool,
That
too.
would've
Sure,
been
sure,
cool,
sure.
But
Nah.
neither was that
Nah.
was true. So whatever.
Nah, who would rescue?
Link is boy.
Link is boy
Link is
forever.
boy.
We have Linkle for girl.
We have Link for
And
girl.
that other game
Well,
that
yeah, you
everyone
could-
play.
Even if you want to say Link is a boy, then let you play as Link. Then play as Linkle, this new character that you made.
What if they
No,
pull Metal
that
Gear
seems like
Solid?
a real character. She's just there to kind of like
I
have a
guess.
girl.
What if they pull like a weird Metal
She's
Gear
a
Solid
kid
5 where you
sister.
can play as a girl the whole
Turns
time?
out,
You can play as
and-
Linkle.
Yeah,
Linkle's
the
an
whole
unlockable
time.
character.
and then you go out to that like you guys see the stream of it? You like go
Part
out
of
of the
it,
cave
yeah.
and you see the whole Skyrim, and then you can like go down and there's an old man there and he's like it's dangerous to go alone. Take this, and he gets like a little wooden sword. And he's like it's dangerous to go alone. He's like, I'm already a demon. He's like you're gonna have to do a lot of bad things to retake Hyrule. It's like I'm already a demon.
I need scissors 61.
Hey, listen! I need scissors.
61.
Jeez.
I'm actually in a lot of financial trouble right now.
So here's a bummer news for me.
No, let's talk
The
about
one
Nintendo.
Before, the one before was a
Nintendo
bummer.
bummers. Why
What's-
Nintendo's
what's
gotta be
this bummer?
bummers?
Well, I know that's a bummer for everyone, but this is a bummer for me.
No,
at
but I
least.
just I did want to say one last thing because I haven't
Sure.
actually seen the gameplay clip in the question.
I
So-
have.
I haven't, so that's what I'm asking.
Mhm.
The two screenshots, they're not one after the other, right?
No.
They're actually quite separated, and
Yes.
somebody took the two and put
Yeah.
them right next to each
Yeah.
other. Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm because I never went. I saw Twitter. My day that day was like, wonder what's going on Twitter.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
But I mean, it's just like I'm leaving.
It's like the
Grandpa
Abe
Dave
Simpson coming
Like, what's
into
going
the
on Twitter
brothel,
today?
He sees Bart,
Uh,
puts his hat back on, leaves.
I'm out of here.
Yep.
Yeah, that was basically my day on Twitter that day. I was like, well, not checking this anymore.
Time to do something else.
Yeah. Overwatch.
Overwatch never lets me down.
Heroes never let you down.
So the Burnout team was working on a game called Beyond Cars.
Oh yes, and then it did
And I was
not
like,
even-
oh man,
yeah, it was like
I
we're-
love
we're-
Criterion.
Like 2 years ago, or no, it was last year, right? They were like, we're making a lot of games. Here's some concept art for the games that we're making.
You guys like Criterion
They're making a new game
with
and
cars.
It's got cars and also
Bikes.
other
and,
different
like,
helicopters
ATVs and
Other
helicopters.
types of car like
You can probably
vehicles.
crash into each other. It's gonna be great. Yo.
Anyway, that's the whole game. We'll announce more when we actually have a thing. Turns out.
Nah, they just gonna work on
Turns
Star
out
Wars.
Star Wars. We got that Star Wars license now. Who needs
Listen.
anything?
Everyone make a Star Wars game. Star
No
Wars
need
games make
for
money. You see how much money we
cars.
make off a Battlefront game? I mean, I'm sorry,
exactly.
Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront, not Battlefield.
Hey, EA. It's like our name is EA Electronic Arts. No, it's Star Wars Arts now. From now on, Star Wars everything.
we're like Lucas Arts, so
Star
we're
Wars
Electronic
Arts.
Arts, Lucas Arts, same thing. Make Star Wars.
Here is our 20-year plan
Oh, and sports games.
to only do Star Wars.
Sports games and Star Wars.
Sports
Nope.
and Star Wars.
Sports Wars.
Sports Wars. The
Nope.
future is here.
All their sports
Madden.
developers have been pulled to
Madden
create.
Madden 26.
So this gives me
Madden Madden 17 confirmed to have Finn in his playable
Yes.
character because he's the black one.
Ethan,
I'm being a sexist jerk and a racist jerk tonight.
what's the difference in any other night? Ow.
It's because the name
Oh.
tag. The name tag
The name tag. No,
destroys you.
it's got 5% alcohol. This is not exactly strong.
What was I gonna say? What were you saying? What were you gonna say?
This one's out, man. I was looking forward to a new racing
what do you
game
think
by.
I
that they
wasn't
could
Turing,
possibly?
but
what do you think they could possibly
Forza
be
Horizon
making?
3 looks pretty good.
Yeah, I might have to just pivot into that.
that
Maybe
looks
that'd
pretty.
be
That
good.
looks pretty good. I mean, I don't like Forza or any racing game, but that at least like it's having
Did,
fun.
did you guys
looks
even
like
play
it's
the
having
Burnout
fun.
games like at all?
Yeah, I
Okay.
love
Nah.
Burnout Paradise. It was like one of my favorite games. of
Burnout
PS2.
Paradise is pretty good. I prefer Burnout
excuse
3
me,
and Burnout
excuse me.
Revenge, but it's just me.
I like Paradise.
Paradise
like
is good though.
I don't like racing games. I just don't. I'm just not
You
interested.
just crash, dude. You just crash, bro. You don't have to race.
I could do that in real life. If I want to.
Also, wait, I
Uh,
also played the Need for Speed they developed. Which one was that?
I don't remember what it's
Yeah, I
called.
mean, a lot of the Criterion people have left.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the people who made those Burnout games.
Left and made
like, they're all,
Dangerous
like,
Golf.
They made Dangerous Golf.
Cool.
I mean, to be fair, that was just like their first thing they're doing. It's not
Um,
like the only game they're ever gonna make.
Star Wars Demolition.
Star
2.
Wars. No, Star Wars Masters of
Oh,
Terrascasi.
no.
Star Wars. What's
They're
that one?
gonna make-
What's that one called? Do you think it's the same one?
What?
The car combat game that was Star Wars themed.
That was Demolition.
Oh, was that Star Wars
Yeah,
Demolition?
yeah.
What about
No,
Star Wars
they're
the
gonna
pod
make-
racing?
They're
the,
gonna make Racer.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
They're
Star
gonna
Wars
make
Racer.
Racer
Star
3.
Wars Episode 7 Racer.
They're gonna make Racer 3.
Oh yeah, because I
Oh,
forgot Racer
no.
2.
a big
actually.
old
Racer
Ray and Finn head
Revenge.
just sitting there.
I never played the
No,
second one.
Bombat. That's Bombat.
That's
Super
my
Bombat
bad.
Racing. I mean the pod. Star Wars Racer is the pod racer.
The Pod Racer.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Oh,
Now
the game that
this-
was
Now
good.
this
Yes.
is Pod Racing.
But they're gonna totally
that
make
is
that.
Bombad Racing.
Oh,
This
Bombad
is
racing.
Pod Racing.
And then there was Star Wars Racer Revenge.
which I never played. I didn't even know it
I thought
existed
it was
until
pretty
more
good.
recently.
That one focused more on wrecking the other pod racers than the
Good
first one.
kill.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
like who did you guys play in Episode 1 Racer?
I didn't like that game.
Gasgano.
I played Mars Terrell.
You guys played that game
Terrell
on
or
the
Mars
64?
Glow?
Mars Go.
Mars
Mars
Go.
Go.
You guys
Yeah.
played that on the 64 recently?
Yeah.
Not
The frame rate
recently.
is ass.
Yeah, I remember that.
Ass
even as a
frame
kid.
rate.
Isn't it? I
It's-
remember.
It's on the PC version. I bet that looks good. but-
Also, played Sebulba because Sebulba always
Yeah, I
wins.
played Gasgano and Dud Bolt, I want to say.
I feel like I didn't like
I
that
remember
game
playing
as I got
Dudbolt.
older.
Dudbolt he was the one I would jump to as soon as he unlocked, and
He
then
had,
I would
like,
wait
the
until I
big
got Mars Go.
Shavers.
Mars Go is like a later
Yeah,
later pod
unlock.
unlock. So I waited until I got
Podcaster.
podcast.
He's the guy who looks like he's the one that looks like a big green goose with blindfold or something. As Mars Go.
Mars Go.
honestly.
Yeah, he's got like a space rat look to him almost.
Yeah.
Like and then-
Gasgano's the spindly guy with
Yeah.
the kind of the oldie timey
Wait, doesn't-
pilot helmet.
Doesn't Gasgano have the three eyes? Isn't he the one the three-eyed aliens?
No,
those guys-
that's somebody. Who is that guy? No, Gasgano's the spindly kind of skinny guy that has the old timey.
Yeah.
I think he's got 4 arms.
There is one with the three eyes, and there's a guy with the 4 engines. Ben
Quadranero.
Ben Quadranero has the 4 engines, and,
Yes.
and Ben Quadranero's lost his power coupling.
All
Yep.
right.
Kill me.
Ethan's
What's
rolling his
going
eyes.
on?
Episode 1, our favorite of the Star
Yes.
Wars movies here at Pixel Legends.
has-
Which one was my
You know what's my
I've
favorite?
lost it.
I like
This is
number
mine.
9. Mighty number 9. and how.
Hey, good one.
I read through
Hey, you
this
know how
after
you made fun of
added this.
mine?
Man,
know-
did you read it?
It's hilarious.
It's hilariously bad. It's like this guy just doesn't.
It's like, dude, shut up.
I have not read this all the way through. What is this?
Lead designer Kenji
Oh,
Inafune.
Inafune.
Inafune, huh? I thought isn't he like working on 10 other games, something like that right now? How does he have time
I
to
guess-
respond to things?
Guess what? He doesn't like this game that much.
Wait, he doesn't like this game?
No.
That
there was-
asshole! What an
It was
asshole!
a whole.
Here we go. Here's the first quote on
this
fun
was-
of game design.
This was their launch stream, by the way. This was their
yeah.
launch
And
stream.
he was the one that was promising this.
that-
He was the one that was like, "This is the game I launched on. Like, we're gonna make Mega Man
That's why
again."
Sonic, the Sonic Twitter did that really sarcastic tweet where they were like, "It's better than nothing."
Yeah, he said that at the end. He's like, fans might not be happy with it, but it's better than nothing.
Wow, that's terrible.
On the fun of game design, here's a quote.
That's like terrible.
5% is fun, and 95% is pure nightmare hard work. I can't even remember how many times I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get through this part? This is going to be the end of my life, man. What other quotes we got here?
Whoa.
Critical reception thus far. Doesn't feel good, to be honest, but they've made some fair points. A lot of stuff that we can agree on, and there's a lot of stuff that we thought we did a decent job with. But maybe it wasn't enough for the general public's eyes. It's something that we could take less on, put in the next one. That one's not too bad.
But still.
It just like this game has been delayed and delayed and delayed, and they kept adding more Kickstarters and more funding and like an anime they're gonna make and this whole other
Yep,
game.
future of the game. We can
And then-
hope that if things go well, there'll be sequels, because I'll tell you what, I'm not getting my 2D side-scrolling fill. And at the end of the day, even if it's not perfect, it's better than nothing. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah. Some people.
I feel like even if it's not perfect, it's okay. And then the second part is it's better than nothing is not okay because there's other games that you could be. There's other things that you could.
Yeah, it's not like there's a crowded market of things trying to get your attention.
Or
or
no,
anything.
it's the other way around. It's not like there's like no other games and this is the only 2D side score that you're gonna get. You actually have a lot of other options.
That's
I
true.
mean, they just released that Odin Sphere remaster. That was apparently really good. That Castlevania game's gonna come out. The not Castlevania. What I can't remember.
Hit game by Little Bub is coming out with a side scroller. You can play on your phones.
Lil Bub.
You've got Inside from the creators of Limbo coming out pretty soon. It's
That
not like
actually
an
looks
action.
really
It's not
cool.
an action side scroller, but that I can't wait to play that because I love Limbo.
I don't know, man. Like, it's funny because like after the fact, after like it came out, a lot of reviewers had the same sort of thing to mention. I think it rings true, is that after playing this, like we kind of realized, did we really need like another game of this type? And is there a reason why people don't really make these type of games anymore? Really, like this?
Because there's a billion Pac-Mans already.
You just
play
other X games. Just
Well, that's because Capcom owns those, not Infinity.
no, but that's what that's what I'm saying is like there's been so many re-releases of those games. Let's go play those great games.
Look at this smug prick. I'm holding up a picture. I'm holding up
You
a picture-
know,
I'm holding up a
Sonic,
picture-
who's had so many
I was
great
gonna say,
games.
I was gonna say, if Sonic is saying it's better than nothing, then you're in a bad. You're in a bad
Did you
spot.
see-
You're in a bad
Did you
spot.
guys see or and listen to when Eggman took over the Sonic?
There's a bunch
No.
of videos, right?
Yeah, and they responded to Xavier.
I saw. I
Woods
was scrolling past. I just
and-
saw that.
and Mr. Eggman.
Mr. Eggman.
Xavier Woods, you owe me for that time machine you found. Don't think I didn't notice.
It was just a refrigerator box.
Quiet, you. It was a prototype.
Wait, isn't that the guy that ate 3 hot peppers?
I doubt he could do more than 3 anyway because he seems booty.
That is worth
a
it
good
just to
reference.
hear Professor
Eggman's-
Eggman call him booty.
It's Dr. Eggman. He doesn't teach at a school.
Dr. Eggman, whatever. Professor Robotnik.
Mr. Eggman, excuse me. I am not. Please use my proper title.
Dr.
Professor
Eggman.
Eggman.
He'll
No,
always-
I'm a doctor. PhD.
He'll always be
certified.
Robotnik to me.
You know what?
anyways.
You know what? A lot of people don't know this, but Eggman actually has an MD.
Does he?
Not a PhD.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why he's Dr. Eggman. Doesn't
Fixes
has
eggs.
no. It actually has no engineering degree or certifications at all. He just happens. That was his
bad
hobby.
is it that your name is like
That was
after your
his
body
hob-
shape?
Well,
Think about
no,
it,
his
man.
name is Robotnik, but everyone calls him Eggman, and he goes, "Grr, that's Sonic. He calls me Eggman again." And
Isn't
it's
he
like,
Dr. Ivo Robotnik?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then his grandfather is Dr. Gerald Robotnik.
His new shape isn't
And
even
then-
that egg shaped, honestly.
Yeah.
He's kind of a burly dude now. in Sonic Boom.
Yeah, well, everyone is in Sonic Boom. Everyone's like upper torso.
And then down into like a V.
Everyone skipped leg day in Sonic Boom universe. Knuckles especially only did upper body.
Booty. Oh, by the way, the reference about the time machine is totally from like a wrestling storyline with the New Day.
I would have
And
imagined.
then they go back in time to fight the
You got, I mean,
villains.
whatever. Sonic's Twitter account is better than its games have been for the last
Indeed.
True.
several.
That's the thing.
years,
Is like, come
10
on,
years.
Sonic. Like,
No.
when was your last good game?
Well, that's the thing is the Twitter account's really good, so it doesn't really matter. Like,
yeah.
My phone died, so we ran out of stories.
that's it. All the podcasts.
The last
over.
story I think was Supercell got bought out by a Chinese megacorp.
You know, the rest of us have phones.
Yeah, you know, we can also look at the news.
Yep, that looks like the news.
I didn't honestly read that last one because I'm like, oh, I don't.
Supercell.
The Clash was that the
Clash
Clash
Royale,
of
man.
Clans and Clash Royale guys.
Oh, are
Esports.
they those? I thought.
Yeah, they
oh,
made
I'm thinking of
esports
Fifth Cell. I'm thinking of Fifth Cell.
No.
Yeah.
They are now bought out for I think it was $8 billion.
Something a lot, I'm sure. Tencent. Oh yeah, Tencent. They own a ton of
Tencent.
crap.
Yeah, they own everything now. So yeah, start learning
Cool.
how to speak
If only-
Chinese.
If only I cared
So-
about apps.
You mean Clash
Also,
Royale? One of the
Supercell-
greatest, probably the greatest mobile game this year to come out because I
No,
can't think of anything.
That
Name
game
one.
is garbage.
Name
That
one
is
game
utter,
better.
That
Name
game is
one
utter
game.
trash.
That game is great.
The DLC, the Hearthstone DLC.
More Hearthstone.
That game is the best game so
No,
far on
it's
my mobile
certainly
list.
not.
Think of one
It's
better.
Terrible.
Think of one better.
I
It's the
will.
only thing I could think
will.
of.
I'll come up with something.
Think of something right now.
Did Lara Croft Go come out this year?
Nope, that was last
That was
year.
last year.
Well, Deus Ex Go is gonna come out and it's gonna blow that out.
Probably. I hope so.
Because freaking no, Crash.
It's gonna be on our top 3 list,
No,
dude.
it
There's
will
no
not.
choice.
It will not.
There's nothing better than
I will
that.
go.
Objectively, there's
I will
nothing.
go
No
download. I will
choice.
go download 3 games before that, and I will make them the top
Nope.
3.
Nope.
It will not happen.
None of them will be that good because actually Clash Royale is a pretty decent game.
Yeah, it turns out it's garbage. Everything else except for the
Yeah.
actual like.
The gameplay itself is fun though. Isn't that what games are all about?
No, not if you
The
pay- not if
gameplay.
it's- Not if it's based on a pay to win, like.
I never
like,
had the pay to win thing.
I didn't say you had to, but like that's what it's based off of. The economy of getting people
Nah.
mad because they lose, so that they buy more gems, so they can go.
Yeah, well maybe they
Listen
should
to
get
Brandon.
control of their
Let's
anger.
talk about Brandon.
Yeah?
He bought lots of things. He bought loot crates.
Yeah.
You guys can argue about this. I gotta go.
No,
somewhere.
we're moving on. We're moving on to a different segment because Ricardo's leaving the room, so he can't do this obnoxious voice. It's trailer trash. Trailer trash.
It feels weird. Like I don't like it now.
No, I do.
I don't.
All
I
right.
miss it.
What if I did?
Do it.
Get her done there, there, made her. That's kind of what he does.
That's
in the
it.
game.
Yeah, you got it. That's good. I feel better now. I feel
Yeah,
better. I feel like
cool.
we're in the trailer
now
trash
we're like
now.
safe. We're in a safe space.
Those are still not the notes.
This didn't. This.
You
this,
went to Facebook. That's not. There's no notes
that's-
on there.
Well, I do because that's what the messenger is.
Oh, okay. You don't have the messenger app?
I do, but I mean, like, it was already open, so
Okay.
I had to save face and pretend like that was what I was. That's what I had to do.
That was a good. That was a good move.
First trailer trash we watched. Well, I guess we should wait for Ricardo to get his like opinions
really
on things.
should.
I just want to say that this GIF that you guys posted at your job doesn't work on Facebook, so it's just a picture of you with a thing over your head, and everyone else is like they don't get a thing over their head. Only you get a thing over your
Yeah,
head.
I noticed that too. But
It works on Instagram just
That's
fine
right.
though.
yeah,
But that one's like, nope. Pick your favorite. This one. over
I'm the-
here.
well, I'm the best.
This one is mine.
this thing that no one can see.
Berserk.
Berserk, huh?
Hey, so have you heard of Berserk before this?
No.
Okay, so Berserk's a manga and also anime thing. I think
Is it?
it's definitely a manga.
I mean, I
And-
definitely
and
like
I know
anime.
there's an anime because there's one on Netflix, and I've watched half of it.
Is it good?
No, gosh, damn it! I already did that. I did that for you.
Oh, all right. We're talking about Berserk.
Yeah, Berserk. Because it was barely a trailer. I mean, it was just kind of like a this thing exists.
Yeah, it's totally a derivative of the Warriors.
I saw that.
I don't even know what happened over there.
Oh, I totally saw that. Oh, the Dynasty Warriors. Yeah, the game
Yes.
itself looks like the game itself is like, here's some voiceover. Also, now here's 20 seconds of this guy like throwing 50 dudes up into the air with
Yep.
his sword
With this
blows.
giant
and-
sword.
And then
Improbable
that's,
sword.
that's the whole trailer.
Yeah, I guess Berserk has always seemed like one of the like manga or anime I could like get into.
Well,
if
I told
really...
you, and I'm not sure if did you know this beforehand, but it is one of the primary.
I knew certain
influences,
characters had
yeah.
been like Artorias of the Abyss. I think is like directly.
Like he's
a
like I think
reference
there's a
to the
name.
main
Yeah, there's a
character.
name. There's a name character that has that.
So like I knew there were certain
And a lot
aspects
of
I didn't know
monster,
how.
a lot of monster
deep.
designs are based off of monsters in the Berserk universe.
That's cool.
There's like those wheel, those wheel guys in Dark Souls 1, like
the
chased
bone
you.
wheel skeletons.
Yeah,
oh,
there's
they're
like
in
there's
3
there's dudes like that in the Berserk.
in Berserk.
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't know
well,
much about it other than that. I watched half of an anime movie that's on Netflix that
About
has Berserk in the name, but I'm not sure where it falls in the storyline because it kind of just jumps you into things. It's kind of an introduction. Like the characters don't seem to be like one party, and they kind of assemble. But then also it just kind of goes. Like it maybe like it expects you to have read the manga a little bit, and I think it's a prequel. I think it's like explaining how things started.
Okay.
I'm guessing based on the name. The name is like the first king, or the name is like something along those lines. That is completely wrong, I know, but the name is something like the first monument of the Death King, or the blah blah blah.
And
then like it kind of, but it sounds like it expects you to kind of know already where these characters end up because no one is really introduced so much as they just like here are people, like they're just kind of getting like thrown into the story. So I watched half of it. And was like, I'm a little confused right now.
I would like to.
I feel like there might be other
experience
anime
some more
or
of it.
other things that I can check out.
Right, Ethan. Right, Ethan.
Ethan's nodding his head.
Yes, I totally agree. That's a great anime. I love it. What are we
Yeah.
talking about? Anime?
Berserk.
Oh, still?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Is it Berserk
you
now?
haven't put in your input of what you thought of the trailer.
Sure look like a Dynasty Warriors game with gore.
We all love Dynasty Warriors.
My favorite type of game besides everything else.
All right, well, Ethan, don't go away because I know you're gonna want to talk about this next trailer quite a lot.
Yeah?
Which is the Balrog reveal for Street Fighter V.
Yeah, man. I want to play the fight, man. I want to do the man who's the punch and he's
You
cool.
guys,
He's got
you
some
want to play as Little
chains.
Mac?
There's no escape.
It's like Little Mac if Little Mac just got like really mad.
You guys know the whole. You guys are video game guys. You know the whole name switching situation.
See, I actually didn't
right?
until
Actually
recently.
didn't, no.
Oh, okay.
Please explain.
All right, let's go through it. So, well,
in the
first of all-
beginning,
first of
there's
all,
the Street Fighter 1.
Well, this was a trailer for Balrog, who's apparently coming out.
It's
on
not Lord of the
Friday.
Rings. It's not Lord of the Rings thing like I
No,
originally
This is-
expected when I
this
saw
is
the trailer.
Balrog, the boxer from Street Fighter.
I
So,
didn't even know he was a boxer.
yep.
This is how little I know about Street Fighter. I didn't know he was
the
a boxer.
from Street Fighter. So, when
'Cause
Street,
he doesn't wear like boxing gloves in the other games, right?
yeah, he does.
He
He
does?
totally wears a whole boxing like outfit. In the
I
other
just
games.
don't play Street Fighter games that much.
There you go. Well, see, here's the thing. Is so now the other.
All I
person
know is a
who's-
Street Fighter movie, and he doesn't wear boxing gloves in that.
No, because he's like the
He's
tech
like a villain.
guy.
He's like a villain guy.
No, he's like the tech guy. He's like in the truck with E Honda.
yeah. He's
who's-
like one of them's like the cameraman, and
Yes,
one of them's
E
like
Honda's
one of
the
them's like the satellite
cameraman,
guy,
and
then Chun-Li is the
Balrog-
reporter.
Yes, exactly.
That movie's terrible.
That's really weird.
It's a terrible
I
movie.
need to watch that movie again.
Oh, it's great. We should watch it. We should totally watch that movie because we
Watch
got
it now.
we got that Mario Bros. Super Show. We
watch
gotta
it
do
now.
something for that too. I feel like we gotta review that for the podcast.
But anyway, when Street Fighter 2 was coming out in Japan, they had they were introducing the three kings as the kind of three mini bosses. Actually, it's 4 kings. Sagat technically counts as one of the kings. But there was a Spanish ninjutsu fighter named Balrog. There was a dictator type character named Vega, and there was a boxer character named Mike Bison after Mike Tyson, who his likeness was based off of. When they ported it over to America, they thought they would encounter some type of lawsuit if they had the character
Mike
named
Bison.
Mike Bison off of Mike Tyson and using a similar likeness to him. So to avoid that, but also because they're really lazy, they just use the internal code inside of the game to switch the characters' names around so that now the Spanish ninjutsu fighter was now known as
Vega.
Vega. The dictator character was now M. Bison.
Yeah.
and the boxer character was now called Balrog. So that's why. So that's why, like in a lot of times when people are just referring to the character and they don't want to like confuse among like foreign.
Is it still that way today in Japan?
Yes, there's still M. Bison is still the boxer. Vega's still the dictator.
What do they refer to him as?
That's the thing is they refer to them now. If you want to just go across the board, if you're talking about the boxer, you say boxer. If you're talking about the Spanish dude, you call him Claw. If you're talking about dictator, you call him the dictator, because that's how you kind of refer to everybody across the board.
These are things you
like
should
that.
know going to Evo.
I've never heard of any of these things. I would have made a fool of myself.
I know, you would have
I would've
walked
been
in
like-
and been
I
like,
would've
look at Balrog!
Look at Balrog. I know his name.
Actually,
and
Balrog
like,
wouldn't be in the fight. He's not legal. So,
I'd
look
be
at...
like, look at M. Bison. And they'd be like, oh, that guy's an idiot. You don't know nothing.
Dictator,
and especially because this is Tekken that we're watching right now. And I'll be like,
that dinosaur's not M. Bison.
I'm like, is this Power Stone? It's a Smash Bros. Melee tournament. I'm like, is this Power Stone?
Just goes off the rails. Man, Kirby looks weird in this Killer Instinct DLC.
When's Primal Rage?
What time is the Primal Rage finals?
Clay Fighter.
3D balls. 3D balls.
Oh man.
Go,
I'm
Catherine.
3D balls. We're gonna start the chant when we go, guys. You get
3D
ready.
balls, I'm in.
3D balls.
What was I gonna say? This looked like a pretty standard announcement trailer for the character.
No mention
Showed off
of
some of the cool
the
stuff
story
that they did.
stuff, like
Still
No,
no
what story stuff? There
They
hasn't
say
been,
it's coming out this
we've
month.
always
This
been,
month it's coming
We've
out.
always been at war with story.
And it's
This
already
month.
the 20. Today, when we're recording, it is the 27th of June.
They've got
So
several days left
yeah.
in this.
You got a couple days left. They could do it if they want to release that story trailer.
The what story? There's never been a story.
and
We
then
never
there was
told
a
them- we never
brief.
said
There was a.
story.
They briefly showed Jury and Urian at the end.
And durian, the
Yes,
fruit.
exactly.
My favorite Street Fighter character. It's very sweet.
But smells really bad.
Real
Smells
bad.
real bad though.
All right,
It's
guys. But of course, the most important game of the year.
Well, duh.
It's Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games Heroes Showdown trailer.
Yes.
Oh,
You know what?
You guys
Come on,
ever wanted to play rugby with Mario and Sonic?
Duh.
Then there you go. I guess that you
Duh. Who
sold.
doesn't?
Game is sold.
I
Sale.
kind of want to play this game.
Do you?
Do you
I
wanna
kinda wanna-
spend-
I kinda
do you
wanna-
spend $60?
No, I kind of want to go
on
to
this game?
Redbox and rent this game and get a few beers and hang out with my friends
All right.
and play this game.
All right, sounding good.
Sounds
we
like
can
a
get
good
some name
idea.
tag and we can
Get some name tag. It's good.
The only thing that kind
spend less
of
than $10 on the whole
Yes,
on the
the
whole
whole
day.
shebang.
the only thing I kind of took away from this trailer was seeing the brief soccer clip and being like, man, I wish they would make another Mario Strikers game because
Yeah.
those games are really,
Also,
really fun.
Of something else of note in this game is that there's like you can only choose in teams, like only the Sonic characters on one team and only the Mario characters on the other team,
Mhm.
and there are bans and
Yes.
picks going on. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you can
this
ban-
character is not
You
allowed.
can ban like other characters for X amount of rounds, and like it looks like you can buff characters on your team for certain rounds.
So
and
it's just
looks-
like doping and illegal
Yes,
you know,
in the
illegal
real-
intimidation.
We saw Dr. Robotnik was shooting up with his own medicine and
It's
getting
like-
huge. He's no longer
Well,
Eggman.
yeah,
He's now Ripped
yeah,
Man.
Robotnik, Russian. The Russians just got kicked out of the Olympics for doping. Just got banned from the Olympics for doping. It's topical. Who knew that Sega's Olympic
Mario's
Games
been betting
game
on
is,
too many like games. He's been rigging them on the
Yeah.
inside.
Well, actually, Mario got caught. Like it was off. It wasn't at the games, but it was like later on. There's a picture of him with marijuana, and they were just. And it's like, oh, it's a bit of fallout because he's not a good inspiration to the kids anymore. Weed 3.
yeah, that
Rio de Janeiro.
Weed de Janeiro. Yep.
it works.
Guido de Mary Jane Nero.
That's a
The
little better.
Technomancer is a game that we don't know that much about, but do you like Mass Effect? Because it seems like
Budget
that's-
Mass Effect.
That's probably That's probably
it probably
pretty
is.
mean to this game. That's probably undercutting it. It
Mhm.
seems like it's definitely going for that deep universe aspect of
Uh-huh.
Mass Effect. That's for sure.
I thought it looked really interesting.
Yeah, it definitely looks interesting.
Um,
I
it's
said
in
this.
that weird
I
beer
should
tier.
have looked this up in the meantime. I said this earlier, but I believe this game is at the very least a spiritual successor to the game called Mars Warlogs, which was like another budget Steam
Mhm. Well, it says right in this trailer, it's like decide the fate of Mars or whatever.
Focus Home
so-
Interactive, right? Yeah, Spiders. Developer was Spiders. Yeah, this is totally the same developer, so I'm pretty sure.
There was a spider in that
sequel.
trailer.
Yeah, Technomancer is the sequel to Mars Warlogs, which is this weird RPG, which was very budget and kind of janky and had kind of silly voice acting, but apparently
seems
got
like it still had silly voice
a bit of a
acting.
cult following and has some good points to
Was
it.
it like
I
the Alpha Protocol?
I don't know. I haven't played enough
or,
of it.
Or Binary Domain.
I think it's lower budget than those, though. You're
Hmm.
talking like this is like first time developed. Like, this is the
Binary
first game
Domain,
out
I
of this
heard, was
development.
actually pretty-
That's what I heard too, but I mean, it was budget. It was one of those like B tier games, you know? Like,
Alpha
what's the-
Protocol is one that
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of apologists for it. But
Alpha-
it's like,
Alpha
let's be
Protocol-
honest, nobody liked it.
Alpha Protocol was a game that everyone like wanted to be really good. Though. I
Yes,
feel like
definitely.
Mars Warlogs is a game no one heard of.
Which-
is the difference? Like Alpha Protocol is like Obsidian, and the other one was Capcom, right? Binary Domain, I think it was Capcom.
Yeah.
And this is a game company that no one's ever heard of
Mhm.
before making their first game ever, and it's called Mars Warlogs
Of
and
the J's are you? James Bond,
or JRPG.
Jack Bauer.
Oh.
I can't remember what the third J was.
Jack
James
Was
Sparrow.
Alpha
Jack
Protocol.
Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow. Yeah.
Jim Beam.
Jim Beam.
Johnny Depp, Jack Squid,
It's just the tale.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, this looked interesting. I thought that the despite the
definitely
fact
a well
that
cut trailer.
despite the fact
And there was
that
a lady's
yeah.
butt, and then she's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"I'm
no,
gonna
no,
grab
that's-
this lady's butt." and
Well,
it's
a
like,
sex scene.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
well,
like
sex
it's like
scene.
there's gonna
well, I
be sex
mean,
in
you
the
can't
game.
it can't be kind of
Mass
a
Effect.
Mass
It can't be
Effect
kind of
game
Mass Effect without
if
a sex scene for no
people
reason.
don't have
Exactly.
sex in it. Yeah, I thought that despite the fact that the characters looked a little low, like res, like the world kind of looked kind of interesting, very lived in, very used technology.
You guys are gonna have
sort
to
of
play the
thing.
first game to really understand what's
You're
going
right.
on.
Yeah.
I mean, it does talk a lot. The beginning of the game is like a voiceover where it's like, they betrayed us and they sent us out to this, and then we have the augments, and it's kind of like talking about things like as if you kind of maybe already know what they are. It's like, I don't know what this is. And this person's getting shoved out in the sunlight, and all of a sudden they're like burning up.
Oh,
And this
God,
person's
I'm
got like weird
dying.
skull things in the
There's
side
weird
of their head.
monster thing
And
with
there's like a
tentacle
monster. Yeah,
face.
there's a monster thing. And
There's
then
giant
like,
spiders.
Yeah, it's weird.
It looks interesting.
Spiders, spiders, spiders.
Curious how this will go. Curious.
Our favorite game next. The
Oh,
favorite
our
game that
favorite game
nobody,
no one will probably ever
that
play.
nobody's played yet.
Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp Effie.
This is just a
the
trailer.
official trailer. Unlike last time where it was like, your girl Tsubasa.
Yeah, this is just a trailer showing how much everybody liked it. 4 out of 5, 9 out of 10, all this stuff, like all the gameplay.
It's gotten really positive reviews.
Yeah.
Those are really positive reviews, and
looks
apparently
fun.
it's pretty fun, and apparently it's got a lot of cool aesthetics. I mean, the art is really cool. They showed a lot of the animated cutscenes in it, and they look really nice in this
Yeah.
trailer.
It does look nice. It
It's
looks
a
like a
cool
cool
game.
I've
game.
seen people like screen capping certain things of like the localization, and it seems like it
Atlas
is
is
not taking itself seriously at all.
Atlas's localization is really good. They have good
Like,
localization.
it was like in
Persona
one of-
4's localization is amazing.
It's like
Funky student.
one of the characters apparently had like an online stalker, and her name was Tiki, and so like the online stalker was like, Tiki is my waifu or something like that.
Nice.
And I'm like, yep, that's pretty par for the
Yeah.
course.
Pretty accurate.
But yeah.
Ricardo, you're the one who's saying you're probably gonna get that game, or you want to get that game.
Yeah, I
You
definitely
want
to try and play it before the end of the year because
I would
that
like to
looks
hear about
really
that
fun.
game.
It looks really fun. Really
That's-
good. And give me another excuse to turn on my Wii U.
Yeah,
So,
always good to have one of those.
But what about new Zelda game?
Yeah,
Is that game
if that
even
comes out for
coming
the
out?
NX though.
You think we'll get an NX?
I heard reports the frame rate was not great on they were showing the Wii U version.
It is early, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know. It depends on what the NX is, so I need to hear a little bit more about that first.
As opposed to nothing.
But if it's coming out in both, the thing is, I'm only ever gonna play Nintendo games on Nintendo consoles.
True, and you love Nintendo.
With my love for Nintendo is like, they haven't done much to like try to make me like get me back into it.
Mario Maker.
Mario
That's
Maker's
it.
really good. Mario Maker is the greatest. But that said, like, unlike Sony and Microsoft, where I'm like, I don't feel the need to buy those consoles right now because I can play like almost all those games. There's some really good PS4 games coming out that, like Horizon Zero Dawn looks pretty cool.
Is that PS4 only?
I think so. Yeah, it's
Oh.
exclusive. So there's some games that are coming out that I'm like, that looks pretty good, but and like Persona. Obviously, that's coming out to consoles only. But other than that, like Nintendo's the only console I really want to get because I can't play those games on a PC. They're not gonna come out on PC, so.
Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem on your phone, though.
Yep, I'm sure those will be the full complete games and not at all an Amiibo-esque or a Miitomo-esque.
Man, remember me, Tomo.
That's what I thought the other day. I was thinking,
so
remember
hot
that
for
game?
that.
I've always like I've a few days like been like should I start up Miitomo and see if anything's
I
going
think I deleted
on?
it.
I've been thinking of deleting because it's pretty big app, honestly.
Yeah, I deleted it.
Takes up a
It's
lot of
gone.
space.
Rip.
It's gone.
Rip me Tomo. What's the last trailer we got?
The last trailer that we've got is for Toho. Toho, Genso Rondo, Bullet Ballet, official system trailer.
All right, you just put words together.
This is
Toho is a series of anime
Toho?
waifu
Waifu?
anime waifu bullet hell shooters.
Hola,
And
my
then
anime
also now it
waifu.
has a 2-player mode
yes.
where it's like bullet hell, 2 bullet hells
seems
against
like-
each like
yeah,
actually
it's
two-player versus.
this is like a versus like shooter kind of looks like maybe dual
Well,
stick.
it's
or-
I think it's just another Toho game, but it also has a 2-player mode.
Oh,
in
is it?
Like,
Oh, I
yeah.
thought that was the whole thing.
No, it's like there's a story mode
Oh,
or something
okay.
like that. It has like
I
story.
thought I don't know.
The dual mode seemed neat. Like, that's a cool idea, is to have your characters,
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen a bullet hell multiplayer like that. Like,
yeah, and
reverse
it also had like
head-to-head.
melee attacks in it. You could like move up the screen and like just hit
Yeah.
them in the face.
Yeah, that
and like
seemed
there
kinda
were like
crazy.
super attacks that it seemed like it would essentially just became like covered the screen
Yeah.
in
And
bullets.
stuff. That game is weird. Those games are always
It
have always been
looked
weird.
really
I
weird.
only have the most passing knowledge of them. And then it's like final attack and it shows like the picture of this lady like not really nude but like in a like a
suggestive
pose,
and she's like sweaty
and she's like
I'm
leaning, pulling her skirt like up slightly. It's just like
seems
that
like-
seems
this is
grosser
creep-
for some
this is
reason.
creepy. Toho is really weird sometimes. It's really creepy. I've never played any one of those games, but I just know of their existence through like internet weirdos,
But is my
which I am not one of.
Sure.
girl
You're just a regular
Tsubasa
weirdo.
in it?
No, your girl Subasa's not.
So I looked up. So for that episode, by the way, when we first saw My Girl Tsubasa,
Mm-hmm.
I looked up pictures. Speaking of weird, and like, because I want to get a picture, and like, a lot of the Google image search for those, and some of them are official art, are not exactly
Yeah.
like PG either.
I mean,
She
it
has
is-
like I didn't realize that because like she flashes on screen for like such a short amount of time during that trailer. They were just showing so much stuff at the same time, but like her outfit already is like very limited in
It-
amount of clothing it has. Plus, there was other artwork which is not official artwork that had a lot of other
it
stuff.
is a Shin Megami Tensei game.
There has to be at
and
least one
those
character who
are-
is-
yeah, those have elements of that in there. So
It's an Atlas game too, which most of, like even like Catherine, especially Catherine.
I was gonna say, Catherine's all about that. So
But even like Persona 4, which is about like teenagers in high school, has like got a lot of like
Yeah.
no nudity, but just a lot of just like this is weird. This is
Suggestive
weirdly
stuff.
suggestive for this age range.
Mhm. Hey man,
The age's consent's different there, man. You wouldn't understand. You,
and kids
you
are
kids
are
What's going on?
kids.
I just want to drink my name tag.
What? You drank your name tag.
Who
I
am
think
I?
we're done. I think we're done.
We're done?
We're
Let's
done.
get out of here.
It's so hot in this room. That's why I go crazy. It's not let's do a beer. This beer's like baby beer. Babies. I give my baby this.
When I have a kid,
Oh,
he's
kid,
going to dream name
He's gonna
tag.
get a name tag. I'm gonna get
That's
a
a
name
good-
tag for him.
You need to make
But it's
a.
the freaking heat in this room. I'm driving me nuts. I'm gonna go insane. All right, folks. That's it for us tonight. You have a good one. We will see you next week for more exciting news and video game reports. We'll probably not talk about Overwatch, but other than that, I can't promise
try.
I can't promise anything other than that. Any parting words?
Just to follow us on Twitter at _legends. Make sure that you subscribe to the Pixel Legends podcast.
It's the Pixel Podcast.
on
Pixel Podcast.
iTunes. Send us some email at
Email.
at pixellegends.com. That's pixellegends with one L.
And we have a YouTube page, spelled the same.
Yeah. Look for
Got a new Evo
Ethan's
video on there.
Evo video up. It's, the ending will shock you.
Oh,
This
whoa.
engine will shock you.
watch some other stuff.
Evo is coming up soon, guys.
And we also have a pretty
I'm
great.
not ready.
We also have a pretty great Stellaris video. Not to forget about that.
Oh yes,
Where
the
we make our new
video.
Mario
new
Breakers will
Stellar
come out
Empire.
as soon as I stop putting out the fire. That is me trying to get good at Evo.
Do you
Yeah.
like memes? Then you'll love our Stellaris
yeah,
video.
that's
Do you like tea lizards? There's none of that in
To
there.
the tea
Yeah,
lizard.
we're behind. We're already. That Stellaris video is already out of date.
no way.
Timeless.
But yeah, make sure you support our Patreon.
The way we don't have one of those. We should get one of those. We'll talk. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Drank your name tag.
Oh,